Jerk. Wow, it's been a little while. I think I've been jonesing. I took some time off. I'm taking time off, taking it slower. And I was like, I gotta go live tonight. Have to go live. Have to reach out to my people. There's a lot going on. I got the phone call today from or the message today from Grace Curley that they wanted me on the Grace Curley show today. That was fun. I did that earlier today at 105. Usually I do it on Fridays. Today I did it on Tuesday because of what's going on with Michael Proctor. The Michael Proctor and Adam Lally and all sorts of stuff happening. We're going to talk about some of it. Going to review some video tonight. We're also going to try to play at 7 p.m. the Canton Select Board meeting. See if there's anything going on over there tonight. We got to check that out. That's going to be at 7 p.m. So we're definitely going to have the public comment at least streaming live at 7 p.m. from Canton Community TV. Thank God for Canton Community Television. I saw Tim there today at court. Today was something. Miles King, Rosemary Scarpiccio, and you saw him. Brian Tully was there. You saw Michael Proctor was there with an attorney. Aiden was there. It looked like the family. Karen Reed. I think I saw Kelly Reed. Was Nathan Reed even there? I thought I might have seen him in the courtroom. There were a lot of regulars. The Sweeneys were there. It was just like the whole gang is back together again, and it's so much more fun this time because Karen's life isn't on the line. But unfortunately, there's a young man and his family that's not getting justice right now because of what Michael Proctor is doing and what Adam Lally, what Norfolk County DA's office continue to do. This guy Marcus Simmons, I believe his name is, was killed. Marquise Simmons was killed in front of his mom's house, and this murder trial is a fiasco. It's the same old cast of characters, same old issues, and they were in court today. We're gonna play some of that. We're gonna play some of that hearing. One thing I want to play right now, though, is this was after the hearing. This was after Michael Proctor, who showed up finally. He wasn't on vacation this week. He showed up. He brings an attorney. This isn't a good sign when your state police detective, your main witness in this case, again, another case, a murder case where Michael Proctor is the main witness. He's a main witness for the defense. He's been called for the defense to basically subpoenaed about this evidence, all the outstanding evidence, all the issues of the warrants and the brick and all this stuff going on. And he shows up with an attorney. He's got a defense attorney with him. And this is after the court hearing where the judge basically dismissed it. You're going to see what happens today if you haven't seen this already. I think most of us have seen it. But this is the best part when Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy, and you see our friend Scott McGinnis at the end with he holding a sign. But Turtle Boy, Aiden Carney, following the attorney for Michael Proctor and Michael Proctor. I just want to open with this video. This is the best. This is so funny. It's so hilarious. It's so good. Like Turtle Boy handled this so well. I only saw one idiot out there say anything bad about it. They were like saying Turtle Boy was weak because he didn't ask Proctor questions. No, he handled it perfectly. He asked the attorney questions. This is like the best. I was so happy on this. This was perfect. And you could tell the attorney was trying to bait Aiden. Aiden handled it perfectly. Got some great answers, great questions. Let's just watch this. I'm just gonna watch this. This was masterful.
There's Michael Proctor.
This is after
way out of court. This should be interesting.
Handled it so well.
Oh boy. Okay. As you can see, he appears to be fatter than before. That should be interesting.
There is a witness in a homicide case that says he's not a defendant here, he's just a witness in a homicide case. Subpoenaed here by defense attorney. Focus on the homicide case, focus on the victim's family.
Can you say anything about the how likely that is?
Not gonna predict. I don't make predictions. We have a case That's all I'm gonna say.
Mr. Proctor, would you like to say anything about the O'Keefe family?
He's not gonna comment.
Any comment about your wife calling people's jobs to get them in trouble?
Thank
If
you.
they commented about
Can you
your
fix the delay in search warrant?
Have a nice day. Have a nice day, everybody.
Any
Go in
comment?
peace.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
This I'm gonna rewind it just so that we can all hear all the questions, because sometimes you don't quite hear the questions depending on what you're watching this on. So I'm gonna start it from the beginning because I think it's important, the context here, and to see what the crowd there was some people asking the lawyer questions, and to see his responses.
Should be interesting. Oh boy. Okay. As you can see, he appears to be fatter than before. Should be interesting.
There was a witness in a homicide case, that's it. He's not a defendant there, he's just a witness in a homicide case. Subpoenaed here by defense attorney. You know, focus on the homicide case, focus on the victim's family.
Can you say anything about
The defense attorney for Michael Proctor says, "Oh, it's nothing to see here. He's just a witness in a murder trial called by the defense. Let's not talk about any of this other crap. Let's focus on the victim. The victim. Let's focus on the victim and his family." What a funny thing to say when Michael Proctor didn't give two shits about this family or the victim when Adam Lally was asking him for the search warrants. If Michael Proctor cared about this family or the victim, he wouldn't be standing there with a defense attorney. So what, this is why it's great to get these people even to say stupid shit like this. So it was perfect that people were asking him questions. Thank God. Get this lawyer saying the stupid shit. He's basically telling on his client without even realizing it.
Not gonna predict. I don't make predictions. We have a case. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mr. Proctor, would you like to say anything about the O'Keefe family?
He's not gonna comment.
Any comment about your wife calling people's jobs to get them in trouble?
Thank
If
you.
they call-
I love that question. Any comment about your wife calling jobs to get them in trouble? Whoever asked that question, bravo to you. Great question to ask Michael Proctor.
commented about
Can you
your
fix the delay in search warrant?
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
You want to comment on the search warrants? Another great question. Great questions being asked. Better than the mainstream media. I don't think those were mainstream media reporters. Isn't it amazing? The people have better questions than the so-called professionals holding the professional microphones.
Buddy,
Any
go in
comment?
peace.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I didn't think so.
Look on your face, don't stare.
Have a nice day.
How's the diet going? Good? No? Mr. Proctor, have you obtained employment since being terminated by the state police?
See, these are more great questions. I just saw James Jackson. He says, that's boot to the ass question. Yeah, the boots to the ground. The boots on the ground have the best questions, it seems like. And Aiden, this question Aiden's asking right here is a good first question for Aiden. It actually is a second question, but the first question, yeah, I knew he wasn't going to answer the first question about gaining weight. But the second question here, this is the first real serious question. He says, have you found employment since being terminated by the Massachusetts State Police? Great question.
Please. Hello, Mr. Attorney.
Hello, Mr. Media.
Mr. Media.
Maybe you can answer.
I gotta like this attorney. He's funny. It's like he called him Mr. Media. Mr. Media. I'm surprised he didn't call him Mr. Turtle. Hi, Mr. Turtle. Mr. Media. And Aiden handled this great. He asked Proctor a couple quick questions. Proctor didn't answer. Then he went right to the attorney, started asking the questions to the attorney, who was actually interacting and answering. So this was perfect.
Mr. Proctor obtained employment since being terminated by the state police.
He's gonna go to communication school.
Ah, That's good.
That was funny. He's going to communication school. Are you shitting me? Did he just say that? Oh my god! I wonder if Proctor, like, I would have liked to see his face when he said that. Wonder if he cringed a little bit inside.
Never too late.
Never too late. Yeah, it is too late for him though. It is too late. That's one thing when you're wrong, Aiden. It is too
Okay.
late for Proctor. Not
You know why
helping him.
Brian Tully was here today? Is he involved in this case?
Go ask the DA.
I see, and this was a phenomenal question by Aiden. Why was Tully there? These are such good questions that he asked. Why was Brian Tully there? Look at Proctor. It looks like Proctor almost wants to. He's watching, isn't he? He's walking, trying to keep his head, but he's starting to turn. He's starting to turn to his attorney. Watch the body language here.
Where
Look at it, Proctor.
can I find him?
I don't know. They're in their office. They got an office.
Michael
in the
Morrissey's
building.
like a hermit. No one can find him.
They got an office in the building.
I know. I've never seen Michael Morrissey in the flesh. I don't think anyone has. He didn't come to a single day of the Karen Reed hearing trial, even though it's like kind of like a high-profile trial. It was just weird not seeing the DA there. But yeah,
Are we all set here?
yeah. I'm just filming. Is that okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
starting anything.
Okay. What are you filming for? What do you want to know?
Well, you heard my questions.
What? Where's Mr. Tully?
Well, that and most people want to know like what's Mr. Proctor doing for work these days.
That's nobody's business.
I know, but I'm just asking. It's not a crime
No,
to ask,
The
right?
answer is it's nobody's business.
Okay.
Mr. Tully, go ask the DA's office. I don't know if he's here. I
Have you
didn't see
seen
him.
the DA?
Who? Morrissey?
Yeah, Morrissey.
No. I
No
haven't
one
seen him
has.
in years.
You'll-
Seen him in years.
Yeah, welcome to the club. You know?
But we don't have that answer, so why don't we just let this go?
Seen him in years. Oh, this is good. This is good. And Aiden handled it well because you could tell that the attorney was trying to set him up. Like, are you really going to follow us back to the car? This was a perfect ending right here.
Let what go?
Well, you're following him.
Oh.
To his car.
Well, I'm just filming.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can leave if you want. I just wanted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
All right. We'll let him go.
What a nice day.
There's Michael Proctor.
I could watch it all day. That was great to see this loser hiding behind his attorney. That was just phenomenal. That was so good to see. He rocked it. I liked it. Proctor, if you gotta give him props for one thing, he had a good attorney, I guess, a funny attorney. I don't know if he's a police union. I'm guessing that's like probably a police union attorney. He just had that kind of feel to him. If you've been around any of the union attorneys like I have, that guy had that union attorney feel to me. He really did. Like, he's just not taking any crap. He's direct. He's right to the point. Not afraid. That lawyer, I don't know who he is, but I thought he was interesting. But Proctor, what a sack of shit he is, though, at the same time, right? All right, 6:33. Thank you, Jersey. Jen sent $2, said, at the Young Jerks, thank you for this. I want to thank everybody, too, who's been reaching out and supporting me again over the last few days. You saw what was going on with the idiots all threatening me and turning me into the courts because I dared stream a hearing that ended up getting shut down by the judge just a couple days ago. Nothing's happened. I don't expect anything to happen, but geez, these people are such scumbags. They really are. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting me on it. And everybody told me I got to check out Melanie Little's stream. I guess she did a stream about it and said that I did nothing wrong, which is good to hear from attorney Melanie Little. I'm going to have to check that out so I can see exactly what she said because I haven't watched it yet. But I think all the streamers are in this together, and we all know what it is. We all know what it is. They're trying to shut us up. They don't want info to get out. They want to be control freaks. So thank you to the audience for speaking up and supporting me on it too. Yeah, let's go. You know what I want to do is I want to go back to YouTube Oh, why did I get rid of that? I shouldn't have got rid of that. I'm going to go back to YouTube. And I just want to go through and kind of review what happened today. Just play it again so I can listen to it with headphones. I was working today. I didn't get to hear every detail of it like I like to. So I just figured we watch it together. I always have fun watching it with everybody together. So let's do that. And then at 7, no matter what, we're going to take a break and we're going to bring up the Canton Community Television and we're going to check out the Select Board, see what's going on over there. All right, let's try to get this up. Take 1 second here. Here we go. I had it right, sorry. All right, let's just play this.
Until we get that order. And I just want to make sure we're not waiting until next week and then all of a sudden someone says, now we need the order. So to the extent
I would like to see the February order.
And I
Okay.
conveyed that to them.
But I also have to deal with the issue of whether, regardless of what the order says, whether there's still a constitutional obligation on the DA's office to review the information that they are in possession of to determine whether it contains exculpatory information that should be produced in other cases. I appreciate the fact that somebody says you can't look at this or you can only look at it for a limited purpose, but I'm not sure that that trumps the constitutional obligation that the DA's office has to review stuff. I'm trying to avoid having to decide that if we can get the authorization from the federal court so that we don't have conflicting orders. But we're not there quite yet. We need to run it to ground a little bit more, and hopefully we can get some movement this afternoon. I think I told everybody last time, out through the 11th. So I'm back the 12th. I'll see you the 12th. I'll see you the 13th. Whatever is convenient for everybody to get back together. I think...
Judge, I appreciate that 100%. My concern is if we know that we're running up against that clock that runs out on the 18th of August, is there a way that the government can now, or the Commonwealth can now ask the government to extend that order again? I don't want to be in a situation where you finally make a decision.
I think the Commonwealth understands that.
Yes.
And I invited you the last time to seek to intervene or to do whatever you needed to do to communicate your concerns to the feds.
I understand that, and that's what I did, Judge. I had a conversation with the U.S. Attorney's Office, had a conversation with their attorney, and the plan was if we did not hear back in a way that was reasonable to us, both myself and Attorney Sullivan planned to file a motion on Wednesday to intervene.
Okay, great.
That was what we were planning on doing. So that's before we knew that they weren't going to have a meeting until 4 o'clock on Tuesday, Judge.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to set a date? Do you want to say the 12th?
I think the 12th at 2 o'clock, just from my reading of the emails that was going around yesterday, seemed to be the best.
I think that's what Ms. Irwin said.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. So we'll put, let me just see, we will put...
Except for Mr. Wester, I do want to say, who will still be on vacation.
Right. We will put King, De Los Santos, Johnson, and Chanchillo, and I think also Walsh.
Yes, please.
On for 2 o'clock on the 12th, on the issue relating to the federal Proctor discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
And is there any way to get an update from the 4 o'clock meeting today, Judge, so that we're not waiting until the 11th or the 12th, the morning of the 12th, to find out what happened?
I'm sure that the Commonwealth will alert folks to whether progress has been made. Everybody needs to be on the same page ultimately for the hearing on the 12th, and you're going to have to act quickly. The Commonwealth may have to act very quickly depending on what happens.
And I've been doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Now, with respect to the King matter, we're just dealing with the issue of the late disclosure, and
May I be heard, Your Honor?
sure.
At the close of the last hearing, you asked the defendant to provide the court with which documents were either exculpatory or would inhibit the defendant's right to a fair trial, would be prejudicial to him. I have not heard of one document since these have been provided in April and May, and to that end, I'd ask the court to order that right now. I think that this has gone on. This is now the second day of a hearing, and the Commonwealth is unaware of which document or which documents are prejudicial to the defendant and will prevent him from having a fair trial.
We had two things I was looking for. I was looking for that, and I was also looking for some sort of a agreement of the parties, if it was worked out, to identify which of the documents were newly disclosed, which were partially disclosed previously and fully disclosed more recently, and then there was the prejudice analysis as to the new documents.
Correct.
So there was sort of a two-phased process. I don't know whether either one of those phases happened, whether the parties met and tried to work out an agreed list as to what was new or what was not new.
I endeavored to work with ADA Hickman to ensure Your Honor had a complete list as diligently and as best as we could of what documents were previously produced.
Comment on this comment on the screen right here. From Wicked Psych says, Proctor says 260 troopers did the same thing he did and weren't punished as severely. That just says we need further investigations into those officers. What I think is funny about this part of it, because this was in the Boston.com, I believe, story, or one of the media stories. They basically said that Proctor's attorney that's trying to get his job back at the Mass State Police was complaining that Proctor and his attorney didn't get proper disclosure, didn't get proper discovery from the Mass State Police about all these other disciplinary issues with officers, that they didn't get what they requested, which to me, I just love seeing that from Michael Proctor, considering how much evidence he had from Karen Reed. He didn't care about getting evidence to Karen Reed related to Brian Higgins making the phone call from the Canton Police Department after he said he didn't, when there was video that Michael Proctor had hidden. They didn't care about getting any of the data from the videos. Remember that? The hashtag data. They didn't want to do any of that. They didn't want to give out any extra info. They covered up so much information. When Lally's trying to get the subpoenas, when he's trying to get all the warrants from Proctor, and Proctor won't give them to him, and it's up on a murder case for this Marquise Simmons that was murdered, and Proctor doesn't do his job, doesn't provide the discovery, doesn't provide the information. Far more serious issues where somebody's life is on the line. There's a family's grieving, dead cop, a dead young man in front of his parents' house. Michael Proctor doesn't do his job, doesn't provide the discovery. But here's Michael Proctor crying for his job back, crying that the Mass State Police won't give him the discovery that he requested. Oh, I am so sorry for you, Michael. I'm so upset about that. Not at all. It's just so funny how karma. It's such karma. And finally, it only matters, Michael Proctor, when it happens to you, not when it happens to other families. What a total just piece of crap this guy is.
And that was provided to Your Honor. I believe was sitting on your desk as Monday morning. It was a third exhibit that the Commonwealth provided. We did confer on Friday afternoon. It was represented to me that counsel would be providing us a disagreed list or a number of other lists to show the court what they disagreed with.
I got a pile of documents.
And we got that as well.
This is the pile that I got, I think, from Mr. Viccio's office. I don't know if included in there is the chart.
Stop right there. There's a comment about this other case up in Haverhill about Francis Galati, I believe is the way they say it. I really don't know enough about it. I know Tim Bradle is representing him. I would love to, next time Tim Bradle comes on the show, to find out much more about that. I am interested in it. I just haven't had much time to look into it. I just actually don't have that much time. Even when right now I'm trying to just chill. I'm trying not to bring out anything new. I'm just trying to relax a little bit because my life got a little bit too chaotic during the last Karen Reed trial, obviously. So I'm just trying to catch up on life, and that's probably why I haven't looked into anything new right now. But I see JFK has been covering that pretty, JFK and James. So maybe I'll have them on the show and they can kind of give me the rundown on it because they seem like they're doing a good job on it. So possibly Gigi. I think that's the way I'll handle it. I'll have those guys come on. Any of them, three of them, because they seem to know what they're talking about on it. I just don't know enough about it. So maybe I will. Thank you for the suggestion. Let's go back to Miles
That
King.
you folks worked out that you say was on my desk. I'm not sure I know what you're referring to in terms of a list that was new or not new, but maybe it is in the stack.
It's a table, it's the third. If you look in the manila folder that's underneath that, there, in a rubber band, it's in your hands right now.
Oh, in here, okay, this one.
That's the thing. Time off, I'm finally able to get things done like a haircut. I finally got my goddamn haircut. I've almost kept up with my shaving. I have some stubble here, but I've been trying to keep up on even the grooming right now. Trying to be a big boy again. I got some new clothes. I went shopping. I actually went clothes shopping like a week or two ago. That was like, are you shitting me? Now, like I said, I'm gonna try to get the next thing. I'm gonna get the new glasses. I got all my teeth done. I'm getting all my big boy stuff done. All the adult stuff. I'm getting back to adult life. I can't wait to get the glasses. That's gonna be a big one. And then we got Charlie. Charlie has to go back to the vet. Oh, we got a lot to do with Charlie, unfortunately. That's gonna be another big one. But all right, enough about me. Enough about my adulting.
That, yes. The third doc.
Okay,
That is what I prepared with the assistance of ADA Hickman.
okay,
Which specifically describes what, if anything, is
okay.
minorly different. That was provided to council on Thursday last week. We got a teleconference on Friday, and council was working on their own lists.
Okay,
So to answer your question, no, there was no agreement as of now. We endeavored to meet earlier and understand from my pleading what council disagreed with, but that was not reached. We provided you, the Commonwealth has provided you as best we can what has been previously provided.
okay,
If there's any subtle differences, we can supplement that at a later date, but at this point, I know ADA Hickman has worked very hard
all right.
to go through the material.
Attorney Scapicchio?
Thank you, Your Honor. So we've provided 3 charts, both to the Commonwealth and to the court. The first chart deals with the information contained in the Commonwealth opposition in disputed documents from pages 7 and 8 of their motion to dismiss. The second chart deals with all of the new discovery, which I thought we were in agreement that the second chart is everything that was new, it hasn't been disputed by the Commonwealth. And the third chart is the information.
So you have 2 dueling charts, huh? So you have the Commonwealth chart and your chart.
Yes,
This is exactly what I didn't want to have happen.
I understand, Judge.
So why didn't you get together and work, figure
Well,
out
Judge,
a...
I tried you.
Well, I think we both tried. I'm playing catch up here, Judge. They've had this information since 2021. I'm trying to go through it, organize it, and figure out where it fits in the most timely fashion that I can. And that's what I've spent my time doing. So when we spoke on Friday.
Do I have a list of the items which are new or which you claim to be new and that I can then cross-reference against the Commonwealth list, which you say are prejudicial or are exculpatory and you're behind the 8 ball because of the late disclosure, notwithstanding the continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, where will I find that?
Where we find what, Judge?
Your list of the explanation of why particular things are prejudicial to you.
That hasn't been completed yet, Judge.
Okay.
I just got to the point where I was able to send a list to them literally Monday morning saying, based on everything that you provided since April, here's what I think is new, and we all agree it's new. That's chart number 2. Here are my disputes from what you say you already gave us from the first part of your motion, and here's what we say is new from the second part of your motion. That's what I was able to accomplish in the week that we had between now and the last hearing.
All right. So you need more time to get the other stuff done.
I do.
Okay. How much time do you need?
It depends. I just got more discovery this morning, Judge, so it just keeps happening. So in order for me to get my hands around it, they have to be able to certify that I have everything, Judge. Because I can't keep doing this piecemeal, the way that they've asked me to do it over the last month and a half.
Okay.
Between now and the last
All right.
hearing.
All right. So you need more time to get the other stuff done.
I do.
Okay. How much time do you need?
It depends. I just got more discovery this morning, Judge, so it just keeps happening. So in order for me to get my hands around it, they have to be able to certify that I have everything, Judge. Because I can't keep doing this piecemeal, the way that they've asked me to do it over the last month and a half. So do we have everything? Because if we do, I'm happy to sit down and say, this is where we are and this is where we stand. But if we don't have everything, and we're going to come back in a week and they're going to hand me something else in the morning of the hearing and say, this is,
Well,
now this
as
is.
an initial crack, I wanted a list of what was new and what was prejudicial in the two notices as of when the motion to dismiss was filed.
Yes.
That's what I think we were shooting for. We
And that-
understood that some new stuff had been produced after that.
Yes.
And I don't know what the explanation is for that, but in any event, we're looking at what was filed as of the time the motion to, what was new as of the time the motion to dismiss was filed.
So Judge, what I did with the new information is I put it in chart 2 as just a description of it. I cross-referenced it to a bait stamp number if we had it, and I put it in a discovery category, which is I thought what the court asked me to do. So some of it has to do with jail calls, some of it has to do with social media, some of it has to do with search warrants. I've categorized it in a way that I think that I was hoping it would help the court understand.
Can we make a record here?
Yes.
These are, you were referring to lots of stuff which is not in the record.
Correct.
Right? We admitted in the last hearing exactly one document.
Yes.
Right? If you are referring to particular charts, let's be clear about what they are. Let's mark them as an exhibit. And then we'll discuss what we need to do. You can explain what those documents are to me without a witness. I think that's sufficient. And then we'll decide whether we're going to proceed with the hearing on an evidentiary basis today or not.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, so I've been handed 3 charts. Chart 1, Chart 2, and Chart 3. You're moving their admission?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, any objection, at least for the record here?
No objection, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so these will be marked as, unfortunately, Exhibits 2, 3, and 4, because we already have an Exhibit 1.
And may I admit the Commonwealth's exhibit? The chart.
This is the Commonwealth Exhibit.
Yes.
Any problem with this?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so this
They're
will be
right.
Exhibit 5.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, how do I deal with these charts? How do I read them? They look like you're talking past each other to some extent, that they're not, that so if I look on Exhibit 2, which is the defense chart number 1, discovery address in Commonwealth opposition to our motion to dismiss. Item 1, copy of search warrant affidavit for T-Mobile cell phone, draft affidavit. What does this tell me?
So what that's meant to tell you, Judge, is that the Commonwealth is, in their pleadings, are indicating that we actually got the search warrants. We didn't get the search warrants.
No, hold on. Not argument, just what does this show? Document description is received by King.
Right.
What is that? What's in that column?
So that column is what we actually received as opposed to what the Commonwealth is claiming they gave us. And it's categorized. So the Commonwealth is claiming, so for the first two, Judge, if I can just show you. For the first two, the Commonwealth is claiming that they already provided those search warrants to us. They haven't provided the search warrants to us, Judge. In fact, what they provided to us was.
No. Just slow down. I want to understand what Exhibit 2 shows.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to give this judge the benefit of the doubt, but come on, dude. She just told you she still hasn't got the search warrants. Why did you cut her off? Why the hell did you cut her off there? I'm sorry.
So Exhibit 2 takes the Commonwealth's opposition.
What's in column 1?
Column 1 is the description that was received by us.
You're
from
quoting
Commonwealth.
something from what?
Discovery notices, Judge.
Draft affidavit for search warrant 21 SW. I'm sorry, you're quoting what?
We're quoting what the Commonwealth named these documents in their opposition, Judge. That's what the Commonwealth named these documents, to try to convince the court that we already had them. There's search warrant stuff down there. The two.
Okay, and you don't have any Bates numbers here, so I can't go and find these things, right?
Right, because the Commonwealth didn't have the Bates stamps in the ones that we did. So if you look down to the second column, we do have Bates stamps. There were some things that were given.
Second column?
I mean, the second part of the chart. We were able to provide Bates stamps.
Second chart? Or
No, just where it says notice 4925.
All right, so how do I compare what you have to what the Commonwealth has provided me? I need you.
I kind of get him, but at the same time, dude, whose fault is it? They didn't do the bait stamps. Like, that's not Rosemary's fault, dude. It's the same old shit from this court. Same old shit, just like Beverly Cannoni. Blaming the defense for what the prosecution does. This is disgraceful. I'm sorry.
To be on the same page. I need you to go through every single document that was produced that you base your motion to dismiss on. Every single one. You have to address every single one, okay? And you have to make a chart saying this was produced in Discovery Packet 1. This was never produced before, okay? I don't need argument associated with it. I just need to know the universe of the problem. I need to get my arms around the scope of the problem. And then I need to know, with respect to anything that's new or substantially new or partially new, why you're prejudiced by the late disclosure of that additional information.
I understood, Judge.
So I don't have that here, right?
I thought you did. I understand now you don't follow it the way that I followed it.
Well, I don't understand it. So I need you to explain to me why you think I do have that, if I do.
Well, I think you have part of it, Judge. I don't think you have all of it.
All right. So I need all of it.
Okay.
Okay. So I understand the scope of the problem. And then I can analyze the question of prejudice. After you've analyzed the question of prejudice.
Yes, Judge.
Question right here, John.
So how are we going to do this?
We're here at 9:24. I'd be happy to meet with the parties downstairs for the next 3 hours.
I think it would be a much more productive use of time.
Yeah, let's get Proctor
than
out of
putting
here.
Mr. Lally back
wait,
on the
let's
stand.
wait. Well, yeah, let's
Or anybody
not
else.
bring Proctor or Lally on the
Because,
stand. Let's not bring them on
There
the
are real
stand.
constraints on the court's ability to provide a remedy beyond the remedy that has already been provided, absent real showing of meaningful prejudice. And so I need to understand where that prejudice is coming from. And so you're welcome to spend the next 3 hours doing that.
Sure, Your
You're
Honor.
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to spend more time doing the prosecution
Okay.
work.
I know everybody's here. I know we have witnesses here. I'm sorry about that, but I think we need to do this in a logical order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This guy is just, oh my God. Thank you so much, Greg S. Australian $2 says every single one over 300. I know, right? Just like it's nothing for Rosemary just to waste more time on this. Nicole M., thank you for becoming a new YouTube member. Thank you so much. And thank you, Greg S. again. Says defense, do we have all discovery? Commonwealth, I know there's a lot of ums, right? And also, Nicole M. gifted 5 Young Jerks memberships. Thank you, you rule in Jersey Jen. Oh, I love it. I love all the new memberships. There's some Venmos that came in too today. I'm going to read off those later on. I want to thank everyone who's throwing in the super chats tonight. There's a lot to cover today. I definitely want to try to get to Alan Jackson tonight too. There was an interview with Alan Jackson. But I think the Canton Select Board is about to start. I'm just checking in on that. Yeah. Oh, no, it still hasn't started. Okay. They're still showing the July 24th zoning board hearing, but I have a feeling it's about to start. So let's just take a quick break here and just let me see if I can bring this up because I don't want to miss it. We don't want to miss this tonight. Hold on one second. I'm going to start. Hold on one moment. Canton community. Sometimes you have to start from the beginning here. I don't know why. But it's about to start here. So let's bring this up instead. And we'll come back. We're going to come back to the there we go. Hold one moment.
From executive session. Being recorded by Canton Community TV.
Why don't you just go back to July
First on our
24th?
agenda will be public comment.
What's going on
I'm
here?
going to just read a comment before public comment and we'll start. The public comment portion of the meeting is an opportunity to listen to the
wrong one.
residents'
Hold on.
feedbacks and concerns. But
It's weird. What is going on here, folks? Hold on a second. There we go.
speak, who is unable to speak. Thank you very much. And we can start with Brenda. So your name, please.
Brenda Sweeney, is that on?
Gotcha.
Yep, okay. Sorry. Brenda Sweeney, Canton, my humble opinion. When corrupt people are in power, right and wrong no longer matter. With unchecked power, not only is the ball in their court, they own the court. They have the power to do what they want regardless, simply because they can. We all know appointing Bob McCarthy as chair of our audit was intentional. They manipulated the article, ignored his behavior, sat there pleased at punch at the uproar from the citizens, and then said, sorry, we can't help you, simply because they could. Rafferty on repeat gave them the power to control the narrative. They didn't care that we objected. They said it loud and clear. We had a queen, so we appointed her, simply because they could. Instead of 1 or 2 select board meetings via Zoom to reset the atmosphere, we got shoved in that closet for 8 months. They didn't care when wackos from all over started calling in. They wanted to teach the citizens a lesson, show them who really has the power in town, simply because they could. It's no wonder this cover-up happened in Canton. For years, some of our leaders actively served their own agenda instead of their oath. With a small group of friends and family, they conspired to gain unchecked power through nepotism, took advantage of misguided loyalty, and built this paradise called Canton, simply because they could. In reality, it's a viper's den, riddled with inequity, where privilege runs rampant. Privilege that gave rise to some powerful families who checked their integrity at the door and started a ruthless campaign of intimidation to maintain what they built. Fear, their weapon of choice, and the consequences are devastating. As we live and breathe here in Canton, we can attest to that. Murderers still roam free in Canton thanks to Morrissey's refusal to look for the real killers. He pretends his job is done in spite of the millions of tax dollars he flushed down the drain. Everybody's safety is at risk when those with power have no conscience and suffer no consequences, simply because they can. Fortunately, this paradise is starting to crumble bit by bit. Our new chairman told petitioners if they got move the vote passed at the town meeting, he'd vote yes when it got to the board. Imagine that. A chairman with an open mind and an understanding that his role is to facilitate the citizens' vote, not teach them a lesson. Instead of a chief whose priority is a new kitchen, our new chief has already removed the one-way glass and made a request for funds for a comprehensive communication recording system. That speaks volumes. We're using our voice and our vote to clean house by saying, no, you can't. 2 down, 2 to go. While the feds are learning things from Matthew Farwell, we're patient. We know they play the long game, and we're looking forward to them getting rid of those murderers for us. We'll be back, exactly because we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Town and the citizens, as I mentioned, 99.9% of the citizens approved and supported moving the vote from April to November. So I appreciate your support of the home rule petition. I understand that the Move the Vote team has recommended an advisory committee with all the appropriate stakeholders to develop a comprehensive implementation plan to ensure a smooth and orderly transition when the final home rule petition emerges from the legislator. As someone who has an extensive experience in successfully re-engineering and implementing robust automated solutions, I assure you that proactively implementing an advisory committee transition team is crucial to the success of this initiative. This is a significant change to the process and requires extensive and proactive planning and testing, especially testing of automated systems. Failure to do so could result in a disastrous and reactive implementation and dissatisfied voters who are expecting a seamless implementation. The Select Board acting now to appoint this advisory group will ensure that the town and the clerk's office are fully prepared and the town isn't left in the lurch of managing our voting process, one of the most important functions of local government. Citizens expect a smooth transition. Waiting until the end of the legislative cycle will result in a chaotic rush to transition, and voters will not be happy. I support the role, the experience, the work, the knowledge of the clerk's office, poll workers, precinct workers. They are the subject matter experts in the processes that exist today. I ask that the Select Board allocate the time needed to engage these stakeholders along with those representing other key functions, including FinCom, the bylaw committee, select board, and petitioners as well. You know, please, I implore you, we have to do this right. Canton can do this right. We will do this right. We need your support. One last thing. I want to give kudos to the DPW. I have had opportunities in the last month to submit service tickets on issues that I had on my street, and they were incredibly responsive and did so professionally. Today, I went to the dump to take 4 bags of trash just because I figured, why not? It didn't take me any time at all. I drove there with my fiance. We drove in, and we were greeted by 4 very happy, professional, and friendly people. There was a little stink there, but you know what? It's trash. That's what we get with trash. And I just want to commend the DPW for the job that they have done and they continue to do. And anyone else, you know, they're the ones that I've had the experience with. We are Canton, Massachusetts, and we are proud. And we can do this, and we can transition, move the vote to November, and we can do it flawlessly with all of your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
In 26 Angela Street, and I am a warden at Precinct 2, and I have been trying to figure out how to get on this Move the Vote committee. I've contacted every single person that I can think of to do so, and I would like to be on it. I feel that the list that was presented last select board meeting was lacking in a lot of experience, and if we're going to move the vote forward, you need to, I second what the previous speaker said, that you need to have the experts from the town who work the elections and know what's going on. And I feel that the wardens, who are the ones that will make or break this, I mean, we're the ones that have to make it go seamlessly, should be involved in the planning process. It shouldn't just be an outside group of people with a couple random poll workers. So I would like to be on the committee, and I think the other wardens would appreciate being asked as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else who wants to speak? Seeing none, we'll conclude public comment and go to the first item on the agenda after.
First up, Mr. Scollins is going to talk about the bond sale.
I'm gonna ask you all right here. Would you rather me continue to play the live Canton Select Board meeting, the rest of this, or would you rather us go back to Miles King and look at Greg Hill today from this morning with Alan Jackson on his show? What would you rather do? Would you rather you want to stick with Canton, or do you want to get back to Alan Jackson and also that court hearing? What would you rather watch right now? That's what I want to hear from you in the chat.
Here before you today to announce the results of two sales that we had. One was our annual bond sale for this time 15 capital projects, just over $5.5 million, and the other one was our first short-term note or bond anticipation note, one-year note, related to the Galvin Middle School project in the amount of $35 million to give us the working capital for a year. So we're asking for you to consider the low bids and hopefully accept them, and so we can move on to close and receive funds next week. The first bond was $5,557,886. It's a general obligation, 20-year bond related to the financing of 15 projects, which I've listed out for you. Bids for the bonds were received at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, July 29th. There were 11 bids for this offering, ranging from 3.465% to 3.606%. The low bid was from StoneX Financial Inc. So I was told that that was a very active offering. I think
like two people wanted us to stick with Canton, and I get it because you want us to cover if anything happens, but it's going to be recorded. So if anything good happens that we miss in Canton, we can play it tomorrow. You just have to wait till tomorrow, and it's live over there. If you still want to watch the Canton Select Board meeting, Canton Community TV, it's on the government channel. You just Google it; it'll pop right up. You can watch it there as well, so you can watch it live right now. I love Canton Community Television, I have to say. But I heard you loud and clear. Everyone wanted us to get back to Miles King and AJ, excuse me, Alan Jackson. So let's just play a little more of this. We're almost done with it.
I have a hearing at noon, from noon to 1, where I have to finish an evidentiary hearing in another 2 co-defendant case. That'll take me from noon to 1 o'clock. I'm happy to see you at 2 if you're able to make substantive progress between now and then, or I'm happy to just see you on the 12th.
I don't
But
know
the
where-
12th would not be for evidence. It would be for an explanation of.
This is funny. You want me to do the Jess Machado, Kate Peters interview? Man, I thought about doing that, but I just couldn't do it. I need a few days to even digest that thing. I might need a few more days to think about it. I don't know. It probably would be good, but not tonight. Not tonight. I like the suggestion, though. I appreciate it.
The analysis that you've done on all the various documents that were apparently produced late.
I don't know where we'll get it. Maybe we could let the clerks know if we could.
I'm happy to report back at 2, Judge, if that's what you want us to do.
Yeah. But I would like to release the witnesses.
Yeah, I think you should release the witnesses. I think and I think frankly, I should see you on the 12th, because if you're not done by 12 or whenever today, we're going to be together on the 12th. It's the soonest I can see you after today in any event, and it'll allow you to do the prejudice analysis, because that's the first part of it. That's great. Everybody's on the same page as to what's new. And then I need to hear from defense counsel, document by document, as to why it's prejudicial that this was lately disclosed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe we have one outstanding issue that was brought to the court's attention, and I believe Attorney Moynihan is here.
We're none.
We had the order of Judge Doolin of June 17th relative to Mr. Proctor's personal phone, and Attorney Moynihan has filed a motion on our last date relative to that order, and I wondered if we could address that today. It's the one outstanding issue that we have on Judge Doolin's June 17th ruling relative to Mr. Proctor's personal phone, Your Honor.
Judge, I didn't know we were addressing that today.
My understanding on the last date, Your Honor, is we put it down for noon because Attorney Moynihan would be here, and today would be the day that we'd be addressing this issue relative to Judge Doolin's order. I believe I asked the court on our last date whether or not this needed to go back to Judge Doolin, and Your Honor indicated that you had read the order and felt that you could make a decision.
Frankly, Your Honor, I didn't notice we were addressing that today.
Would you like to be heard on the 12th also?
I would need to check, but if I could be available on the 12th, but that would be a better day than today.
Okay.
You want to check? Do you have your calendar?
Sorry?
Do you have your calendar?
I'd have to just call my office.
Okay. Let's put it on for the 12th. Call your.
See right there, you can see the Sweeneys up front. I see Kelly Reed right there to the left in the front row. And who's the guy in the blue? Is that Nathan? I can't tell if that's Nathan Reed. It looks like it could be Nathan Reed. It might not be. But that's definitely the Sweeneys up front. And that is Kelly Reed. Kelly Reed is in the gallery. That was amazing. Nicole M thinks I should cover. Mike, if you get a chance, watch the Long Island Audit live town meeting stream on former Connecticut State Trooper Fahey. Do you know what town that's in? Can you hit me up, Nicole M, in the chat? Let me know what town that is in. Not sure I'll cover that tonight, but I'd like to take a look at that. Someone said that's not Nathan. Okay. I know. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't think that's Nathan, but I thought it might be at first. But that's definitely Kelly Reed. I know Kelly Reed. Yeah, so Kelly Reed was there. I was wrong on Nathan. Nathan wasn't there. Kelly was. Okay. Groton, Connecticut. Okay. Maybe we'll cover that. I want to hear this because I haven't heard this yet. I have not listened to this Greg Hill. So we're definitely going to play that tonight too.
Office, if for some reason
This
you're
is almost
unavailable, let me know. I'll get back on the bench and we'll set another time.
Is that 2 o'clock, Your Honor?
It would be 2 o'clock, yes. I have the papers here. I didn't read them for this hearing, but I will take a look at them now. So if you decide you want to be heard today, I'll hear you on it.
I prefer the 12th. I can let the clerk know if I'm available at 2. I believe I can be available at 2. I have to double check if I can.
Okay, all right. So if you can be available, we'll hear you on the 12th. Otherwise, let the clerk know and I'll hear you now, okay? Okay. Anything else we can do today? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to keep this playing because this is interesting. Look who stands up. Look at the board. There's your boy right there. Front and center.
I get it. All right. Are we going downstairs to your office? Are we doing this here?
She wants to know, are we doing this here or are we going down the office? Yeah, they didn't. I'm not sure if they met in private or in the back office exchanging paperwork. I have a feeling they may have, but they did not have a public, hearing before the judge at 2 p.m. because I watched at 2 p.m. and the judge heard like 4 or 5 different cases. None of them were Miles King. So, no, they didn't meet again at 2 p.m. With the judge in the chambers, at least, so.
Okay, great. Thank you. Nice job.
Jim the clerk, he's here. Jim the clerk's there. Adam Lally, look, there's Adam Lally. He was ready to go. He's like, thank God I didn't have to testify. Thank you so much, Judge Krupp. I'll give you a couple cigarettes after at lunch break. Look at Lally. He's so happy right now. He's cool, so cool. He slinks off in front of Aiden. This Jim's happy. Jim's happy. Oh. Look, Jim shaking everybody's hands. He's all happy. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get to the main course. What people wanted to see. Let's bring this up. This is Alan Jackson is live on the Greg Hill show this morning, which is WEEI in Boston. It's a radio show. I haven't seen this yet. Let's get this up.
In a case that many in the nation and certainly around here were obsessed with. And joining us this morning on this show for the first time, one of her attorneys, Alan Jackson. Alan, good morning.
Hey, Greg, how are you this morning?
Great to have you on. I know it's early out there in California. Appreciate you taking the time.
Pleasure.
I mean, I've been trying to get you on since the trial, but I mean, I know you had other things you had to do.
Well, I need a...
I gotta say, Greg, shut the hell up, dude. You didn't cover it for friggin' 2.5 years. I haven't gotten Alan Jackson on the show. You're friggin' complaining the guy didn't get back to you when you got him on your fucking show. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, my. How do you think we feel? We raised thousands of dollars for Karen Reed. We were on this probably 18 months before you even knew who Karen Reed was, Greg Hill.
I need a little courting. You didn't court me, Greg. Come on.
Well, I tried. You took to Instagram over the weekend to say that you're not done yet and the next chapter is coming. I know there are a lot of us who want to know what that means, Alan.
Well, I was just sort of generally referring to something I'm very excited about, which is I've agreed to join Karen and her very capable defense.
I gotta say too, like, I have no issues with Greg Hill. I know some people are saying in here, I can't stand Greg Hill, blah, 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 blah. I don't dislike Greg Hill. I gotta say, I gotta make a disclosure too. My girlfriend used to work with him at WAAF. She was a DJ, Carmelita. Some people know her. She was the local music director, just the Sunday night part-time show on Sunday nights. And Greg Hill's obviously the big deal there. But Greg Hill's a good man. I mean, he has raised millions of dollars for charity. If something horrible happens to a police officer or firefighter, he steps up. I know when a couple of my friends, one of my friends from Bridgewater State College passed away in a horrific fire, Boston firefighter. I'm pretty sure Greg Hill was one of the first people to step up and raise money for their family. So I like Greg Hill in terms of what he does for charity. But I can give him some criticism. So let's just be fair. Let's be fair.
Team in the civil action. So I'll be coming back to Boston. You haven't seen the last of me yet. The really good news is I'm going to be bringing Elizabeth Little with me as well. So the band is not just staying together, getting back together, but we're intending on writing a few new chapters.
That legal team, you're the legal team that you have joined, has sent subpoenas to the Mass State Police and the Norfolk DA's office, seeking information on witnesses who testified at the trial, on Michael Proctor, and on evidence from the federal investigation. We discussed the federal investigation a lot on this show. From your perspective, in your opinion, did that federal investigation end?
No, I've never heard of such a thing. I know what Mr. Brennan said. I know what the hired gun said in court about being contacted and there being a closure to the case. We weren't contacted. I was never contacted. I've never heard a word of that directly from the horse's mouth, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I can tell you it's not a thing. It's just not a Greg, you just don't do that as a prosecutor.
I don't want to be mean. Why are people being mean to Wiggins? If Wiggins doesn't say a word during this, it's probably because he's a professional. Probably because he's not as hip to this case as the other two that he's sitting with, right? So, I mean, sometimes people not saying a word, you should give them credit. Like, because it's hard sometimes not to say something stupid, you know? So, I don't know why people don't like Wiggy. I like Wiggy. He's funny. He's a funny bastard. You know, there's some stuff you could look into him maybe with the Brockton football stuff. I don't know, but I don't know. It just I wouldn't give him shit for not saying anything. Sometimes it's better not to say anything when it's not, you know, if it's about the New England Patriots, you know, Wiggy's going to be talking, right? But maybe with cats, like, I don't know enough, so I'm not going to say anything. I wouldn't give anyone shit on that.
Especially a federal prosecutor, you don't look at the target, call the target, and say, "Oh yeah, we're done. We're done here." What if something new comes up tomorrow, or next week, or next month, and you're within the statute? You don't quote unquote close investigations. So that's something that I'd never heard of, and I no, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a quote unquote closed investigation. They can say whatever they want over at the Norfolk DA's office. I'm sure that was. That was a curated comment or a series of comments, but I'll leave it to the feds to do what the feds do best, and that is to investigate. And that's exactly what I think is continuing to happen. But that's just my.
So far, I like the questions. I just got to say, like, quick to the point. Obviously, that you know, Greg Hill is a pro. He's doing quick radio hits, so he knows the question's got to be quick. But so far, on point. Good question.
Opinion.
Speaking of that, of the DA's office, should the taxpayers in this state be concerned with how much was spent on both of these trials?
Oh God, yes. Yeah. This is I mean, they
you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can not like Greg and some bullshit or whatever, and I can give Greg a shit for that first comment he made. But so far, phenomenal questions. This is another excellent question. This is what I try. I try to be fair. These are good questions. This is a phenomenal question. This is the question that every media professional should be asking any of these attorneys, but more importantly, Michael Morrissey, the DA, Adam Lally, that's the governor, the AG. They should be asked this question over and over again. How much money was spent on this? This is a great question. So far, Greg Hill is asking good questions.
The DA's office serves at the pleasure of the public. He's an elected official, and he's got responsibility to the public for their confidence and to their pocketbooks. I have no idea.
Yes, you absolutely can have your opinion on these guys, but I'm welcome to push my opinion back, right, and try to be fair. I'm just trying to be fair. So you can have your opinion, but obviously it's my show, so I'm going to say my opinion back, and I'm going to be fair with these guys. You know, I think so far so good. They're doing good. I just didn't like the first comment. Everything else so far has been great.
Yeah, how much they spent. I know how much we spent, and I can imagine they spent as much or more. I mean, there were millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money spent that was completely unnecessary because of a persecution, not a prosecution, because of some sort of a personal vendetta. After the first trial, everybody knew what had happened inside that jury room, inside that deliberation room. She was acquitted. I've talked about this, the fact that Karen and I and our team may be the only attorney-client relationship where we've actually acquitted someone of murder twice in the same case with the same charges. They knew that they couldn't prove this case coming out of the first trial. They knew they couldn't prove the case going into the first trial, and that they pressed forward. And then, of course, following the debacle of the first trial, and the joke that was the unrecorded verdict, they forged ahead again, and it was some sort of, it turned from a professional objective prosecution of a case to a personal vendetta, and it cost the taxpayers millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, just their special prosecutor alone, his bill was north of $500,000, closing in on $600,000, just him, for a completely failed prosecution.
Which is odd. You work
like, is that like Integrity Farms? He's going to trying to be fair this weekend. Is that like the Topsfield Fair? Trying to be fair. I'm just trying to be fair. I shouldn't have so much laughter here. I love our
in
chat.
the DA's office in Los Angeles as an ADA.
Yeah.
You have perfectly capable ADAs who could have tried this case, and it wouldn't cost you $600,000. Correct? That's normally the way it goes.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, that's normally the way it goes. And if Michael Morrissey didn't have those kinds of prosecutors who could try the case capably.
Wait. What about the loophole lawyer? I want to hear this one because I've watched him a couple times. I like him. He seems pretty good. He says, Kim says, please tell me you've all seen the loophole lawyer stream that was quoted in the motion. Funniest thing I've ever seen. I didn't notice that. Which motion? Like, what are you talking about? I'm interested to find out, Kim. I'm going to have to go watch the loophole lawyer. I'm sure he's talking about it. I should get him on the show. He seems pretty good, actually. He's kind of funny. All right, let's play a little more. I haven't watched him that much. I just watched like an episode or two. He seems like he's pretty smart.
Then maybe he needs to find another job. That's his only job, is to populate the courtrooms with people who are competent, not just competent, but ethical. I don't know, maybe there were some ethical prosecutors inside that office who said, not just, I can't. They probably could have prosecuted the case. It's just a matter of calling witnesses and doing an opening and closing statement, putting on some evidence. I think he had prosecutors who said they wouldn't because it's unethical. They didn't believe in it. So what does he do? He goes outside the parameters of the contours of his office and finds some defense attorney to come on board and switch hats midstream and become a prosecutor. It's outrageous. You just don't see this kind of thing.
Alan, I was so impressed with how you and your team were able to handle the first trial and the second trial, but it did feel so drastically different, the way in which you decided to handle witnesses. And the first trial seemed like there was just bombshell after bombshell. It was much more McAlbert's heavy, while the second trial was much more database. What went into the decision to kind of switch things up and choose to go down that road at the second time around?
There wasn't a marked difference in what our theme and theory of the case was. As a matter of fact, there was no difference in what our theme and theory of the case was, which is the SUV never hit John. He wasn't killed by being hit by a car. That's the basic postulate. In the second trial, it was very clear that the prosecution was going to do something different. They were going to try to style themselves as a data-driven prosecution. We knew that the data helped us. So any trial lawyer has to do this. You have to be committed to your cause, but you also have to be able to be up on the balls of your feet. You have to be able to be nimble and pivot with the prosecution, because you're not just parrying, you're defending, but you're also, to a certain degree, you're on the offense as well. So what we decided to do was shift and learn from the first trial that I wanted to press much, much, much harder on reasonable doubt and undermining everything they say about the data, because the data actually served our purposes. The data proved that the car did not hit, it did not collide with John O'Keefe. And so that's what you saw in the second trial, is a much more sort of tactical approach. They didn't call certain witnesses. They didn't call Brian Higgins. They didn't call Brian Albert. There were big witnesses that they just forwent altogether. We knew that there was a chance they would do that. We didn't know until they closed their case who they were and weren't going to call. They didn't have to tell us in advance what their trial strategy was. But we were ready and able to sort of pivot on the move to not just defend against what they were presenting data-wise, but to attack them for not calling people like, oh, I don't know, how about Michael Proctor, the lead investigator on whose shoulders you base the entire prosecution, and you don't call him. So we knew that there was going to be some shifts, and part of being a good trial lawyer is to be able to make those shifts sort of on the fly, and that's what we did. And we did it with Karen's approval and with the rest of the team's approval.
Speaking of Michael Proctor, he has had a civil service hearing yesterday trying to get his job back, saying the suggestion is that he was not treated like other troopers. Does he deserve to be a trooper in Massachusetts?
No way.
Oh my God! No, please tell me they're not going to.
These are great questions. Like, ready for Alan Jackson to tee off. These are phenomenal questions. Another good question. Also, every question so far has been good. I can see why Alan Jackson wanted to go on with Greg Hill. So far, very good questions.
Give him his job back. He's claiming he wasn't treated like other troopers. Well, then act like other troopers. Don't do what you did, which is to take your trooper's hat off and to become a sort of a sideshow. This guy had so many biases going into the case. I mean, it was embarrassing. I don't need to go into, and I won't go into all the details of what he did, not just to the investigation, but to Karen Reed personally, just dehumanizing her, maintaining relationships with the people that he should have been investigating, the very people he should have been investigating. No. Look, to be a sworn officer and to take on the mantle of the protection of the community, that is a privilege, Greg and Courtney. That's a privilege. That is not a right. And he squandered that privilege with bias and a lack of objectivity and lying through his teeth about his own relationships, about dehumanizing with conduct that was dehumanizing of the person he was supposed to objectively be investigating. No, he's lost all his right to carry a badge and a gun. He's an embarrassment. He should never, ever, ever be in a position to control the community members that he served.
He called him an embarrassment. Isn't that quoting Jen McCabe? A little bit of trolling there too. Perfect questions. Perfect questions. You knew he was going to tee that one up. He's an embarrassment.
And that's exactly what being a police officer allows you to do. It's a lot of power, and he's not someone who should ever be commissioned with that power ever again.
Alan, you discussed objectivity. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you miss Judge Bev?
This is the guy I can't stand the most on that show. Chris Curtis. Dude, sure. This is the so far the worst question out of all of them. I don't know why they let this guy speak on their show. Why? He's horrible. He's terrible. I can't stand him. I've talked to him a couple times, like once maybe on the phone when I got invited to the Kirk Minahan show. But Jesus Christ, Curtis, I didn't like this question. It's like a throwaway question, but I'm sure he's going to tee it out of the park. But still, like, do you really? Come on, dude.
My God, that's a whopper. If I go the rest of my life and never have to walk into a room with Judge Bev.
He's the producer. He used to be the producer of the Kirk Minahan show. I've always been annoyed by him. I always felt like, dude, produce the show and shut up. Some producers I don't mind. Like, I'm on the Grace Curley show. Their producer, Taylor, is phenomenal. He's like, I love listening to him. He makes me crack. I'm a liberal and I laugh at all their woke shit on the liberals, and I'm a liberal. So, I mean, that's how good Taylor is. I think he's perfect. Like, he's a good producer, but he can do well on the mic. I can't stand this Chris Curtis. I don't know why. I just don't like him. I don't like listening to him. I wish every show on EEI didn't allow him to speak. He's a producer. Produce the show. Don't ask the questions, dude. That would be my advice to them.
God bless her. It'll be too soon. Yeah. And by the way, that's the other thing is, I don't have to say it. I was right there in the mix. I was in the fishbowl. I was wondering if others were clocking what I was seeing. Sometimes you're so far in it. It's like a fish that doesn't know it's wet. I wasn't sure if others were seeing what I was seeing inside that courtroom, but a judge's job is to absolutely be unbiased, to put all of the biases aside. Everybody comes into life in any situation with certain biases. The job of a judge is to put those biases aside. And she showed very, very quickly and undeniably that she could not and would not do that. There were rampant biases in favor of the prosecution, in favor of the Commonwealth, in favor of Mr. Lally and Ms. McLaughlin, in favor of Mr. Brennan once he took over, and against the defense from nearly day one, nearly from the moment I walked into court the first time on September 25th, 2022. So no, there was a breakdown of the entire system, and she was part of it.
Do you believe that there was a conspiracy to frame Karen Reed? Or we debated this a lot on this show with Curtis. Or do you think it was just, awful investigative work?
It's a combination of both, for sure, in my opinion. A combination of both. There was an awful investigative work, but it wasn't just incompetence. It went beyond just incompetence. You could read in Michael Proctor's text messages that it wasn't just incompetence. He had a view of her. He had a thought process about her from nearly day one, right? 16 hours into the investigation, he was already determining that he was going to make sure that it was going to get pinned on the girl. She's going to pay for this, right? He said it out loud. He said the quiet part out loud. So it's not just incompetence. So now once you go beyond, outside the parameters of just incompetence and being stupid, which there was a lot of idiots involved in the investigation as well, once you go beyond those parameters, now you start getting into the very troubling area of a cover-up. Well, we know that tragically, an officer has lost his life. And we also know that we're going to pin it on this girl. So what does that mean by definition, Greg? What does that mean by definition? It means that you're going to cover up what actually did happen. You're going to actively cover up who is responsible. And lo and behold, isn't it amazing that the person that's supposed to be investigating is connected to and related to, and with personal relationships, to the very people that should have been number one, number two, number three on the suspect list. So you tell me, was Karen Reed framed?
Alan, since the second trial, there have been videos, photos making their way around. So
stop it for one quick second here. Question came in. Actually, we got to put this one up. This is a good comment. Said the cheesy banana part out loud. Oh, man. There was another question about who's the guy in the middle. That's Jerome Wiggins. He's a former New England Patriots player. He's also like a sidekick on the show. So he's probably not going to have too much to say, I have a feeling. I heard some people said he did ask a couple questions. We'll see. But so far, he's been pretty silent. And I think it's because he's not an expert on this. Like the other two, like Greg Hill and his other co-host Courtney here.
social media of Inside 34 Fairview, it seems like the new owners let you guys inside, whether you were down in the basement looking at the flooring that was pulled up inside the garage.
Right.
There was a video of you outside yelling, and from the Albert's bedroom, you could hear yourself pretty clearly. Will there be any type of I know that you guys have signed on for different media rights. Will there be any type of way to dive deeper into that? Will that come up in anything?
Well, the pain point that the plaintiffs are going to have in their civil suit is this is a very different lawsuit. It's not a criminal lawsuit, and it's certainly not being governed by Judge Beverly Cannoni, who kept out so much of that information. That's why you're seeing it on social media rather than having seen it in the courtroom. All of it was relevant. We attempted to get most of it in, and we were denied, both in the first trial and the second trial. So this new lawsuit is probably a very good platform, I'd say, I would suggest to you, for a lot of that information to be aired out and aired out completely. So yeah, I don't. That's not the last you're going to see of that information. That and a lot of other information.
To be clear, when you said this new lawsuit is, so you're joining her civil defense team to defend against the wrongful death suit. Are you also?
Correct.
Is Karen also planning a federal lawsuit on this case?
So that's a interesting question, not one that I'm willing to talk about right now. We have a
You're
lawsuit
under.
that's
Can
in
I
front of
remind
us.
you? Can I remind you? You're under oath.
Counselor, I object, and I move to strike that comment from the record immediately.
By the way,
Yeah.
also, I offered countless legal strategies during the trial to Alan. Didn't use a single one of them. I just want
You listen to the Betterow instead. I'm sorry, Greg. We had Betterow on. I think he was watching Betterow instead. He didn't take any of my legal strategies either, but I think he was listening to Betterow. This is good so far. This has been a good. I like this question too about the federal lawsuit.
to make that clear right now.
I think Alan needs your help.
Yeah, I've seen carnival psychics with a better track record than Greg when it comes to legal prowess. I'm just suggesting maybe not.
Alan,
Greg, hey, we'll see what this new lawsuit entails. I can tell you this. I can say this.
You know, if Alan Jackson needs help on hosting a radio show, a morning drive show, I think Greg Hill is who he's going to go to. I will say that much, because Greg Hill, you have to admit, his ratings have gone up. Like when he first went to EEI, he had shitty ratings and it didn't look good for his show. He had pretty good ratings at AAF for years. They moved him to EEI. There's been a lot of issues, let's just put it that way, over at Entercom, the radio conglomerate that owns a lot of these stations. And his show is basically saving WEEI, in my opinion, because the ratings have recently gone back up. And I think it's hilarious, too. I think Howie Carr ratings are up. I think Greg Hill's ratings are up. I think it's the Karen Reed effect. You know, Sports Hub, where's the Sports Hub? They were like number one. They're starting to fail. Greg Hill is catching them. And I'm telling you, it's because of this shit. It's because of this Karen Reed stuff. So Greg Hill is, he may not give good legal advice. I would listen to him on how to host and produce a radio show, because I think he's pretty good at it.
Karen has proved herself to be a fighter. She's not going to sit back in a corner and get punched, right? Everybody has a plan. I would suggest the following. Everybody has a plan, as the old saying goes, that Mike Tyson made famous, until they get hit in the mouth. And Karen Reed has shown that she knows how to hit others in the mouth, meaning how to fight back. I doubt seriously she's going to be a wallflower during the course of this new litigation. So whatever that means, we'll see.
Okay.
Alan, I know you're probably got something else to do this morning than talk to us. I just am so curious about the period between the trials. As someone who's, I don't understand, I've never studied law. Is there any prerequisite, or is there any onus on the Norfolk County DA to prove either new information, or how did you go from the ending and the conclusion of the mistrial into the beginning of the next trial? What was that process like, and what did the state have to do?
3 fucking questions. Like, what was the question, dude? Like, that was awful. What is he doing? What? You have Greg Hill, who is the number one host. Why is this guy throwing in his stupid compound questions? That was a terrible question. That was much worse than the last one. That was terrible.
That's a great question. The state has an obligation, an ongoing obligation, to ensure
he's being so polite there. That's a great question. Let me think about how I'm going to answer your 5-part question.
that they do not ever present a case in front of a jury that they do not believe can be proved beyond any and all reasonable doubt to a jury of 12 objective community members. All right, that's the postulate, right? That's the baseline. They have an ongoing obligation to establish. That's the ethics of a prosecutor. You cannot just prosecute a case because it sits on your desk. You have to be convinced as a prosecutor, as an ethical prosecutor, that you can prove the case, prove all the elements of all the charges beyond any and all reasonable doubt to a jury, an independent jury. So after the first trial, it was our thought, there's no way that these folks are going to come back to the drawing board and say, oh yeah, we're going to do this again. It was nearly 4 months the first time, 3 months and a few days the first time. It ended with, very famously now, it ended with acquittals that were not recorded. Of course the DA's office is going to go back, sit down at their desk, take a deep breath and realize, hey, you know what, guys and gals? We did the best we could. We put this case forward the first time. Didn't work out. It's not going to work out any better. We don't have any new and different evidence. It's going to be the exact same thing the second time. It's going to cost the taxpayer millions and millions of dollars. We're going to take the loss and walk away. It's the just thing to do. That's the conversation they never had. What Michael Morrissey conversely did is he goes,
I gotta say, so right now I have more respect for Wiggins, who's one of the three on the screen, one of the hosts, hasn't asked one question yet. And this damn producer, this is giving me WEMF unregular radio vibes when I used to stream on audio at a radio station with a producer that the station would hire. And so often these stupid producers would jump in and ask the stupidest, dumbest question. It would piss me off. And I try to be nice because, you know, I was sponsored by the station basically, and they hired these people. But that's the way it felt like. It's giving me flashbacks. I just hate it. I just hate it. I hate when the producers jump in when they have questions like this. It's just like these hosts are doing phenomenal. They didn't need this producer dude to jump in. I don't know why this happens. I just don't get it.
back to the drawing board and says, who can I hire outside the office who's willing to take this piece of garbage lawsuit and prosecute it? Oh, nobody in the office? I'll just go pay someone. I'll literally, it's offensive. It's offensive. I'm just going to go write someone a big enough check, basically bribe someone to come on board with a big check and prosecute the case that nobody else in the office can or will do. So what happened between the first and second trial is offensive. It never should have happened, and it was a complete abrogation of their obligations, and it's in keeping with Michael Morrissey's entire tenure as the DA. It's a fiefdom. He runs that like a lord and his manor. He doesn't run it like a public official. He's a disgrace.
Someone just said they don't think his questions have been that bad. You know, honestly, they haven't been that terrible. I just don't like it, number one. But I think that last question was too compound. I actually liked that he asked about Morrissey. I like the idea of it. I thought it was just clunky. But just to me, I just don't get why you're not letting the host, Greg Hill. This guy's one of the number one hosts in Boston. Let him ask the questions. Let Courtney ask the questions. These are the two that have the most interest in this. I like Wiggins. I think Wiggins is being very respectful here. I just don't like the feel of it. It's just my personal feeling. And again, I think I have a bias against Curtis. I don't know. I hear him do this a lot on shows and it makes me cringe. Where like I said, the producer on Grace Curley's show, he's phenomenal. Taylor, it feels like he's more of a co-host than a producer when he pipes in. When this guy pipes in, it feels like, oh, you're the producer that shouldn't be speaking. That's the way I feel. Just saying. His questions haven't been horrible, but that last one, it was just too much compounding. You got Alan Jackson on the screen. You got Alan Jackson. This guy's $1,500 an hour. You got to ask your question 5 seconds. Look at Greg Hill. He's asked the best questions in like 5-10 seconds. Boom.
He's an absolute disgrace.
How deep do you think if you consider this to be corruption, how deep do you think it goes here in Massachusetts?
To its core. To its core. And that when I say that, I don't mean that every single Massachusetts.
Did you see that? See how good Greg is? He asked that question 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds. Shut up. Let him talk. So good.
State police officer is corrupt. Not by a long shot. Most of them are hardworking men and women who get up every day and do the job that would strike fear in the rest of us, right? They run toward the danger. They run toward the bullets and the fire and the fights and those things. I have the deepest admiration for the lion's share of the men and women who do that job. I also have a deep admiration for the lion's share of the prosecutors who populate courtrooms around Massachusetts. But what I've seen during my time in Massachusetts, it hasn't been all that long, a few years, going on 4 years now of working in Massachusetts pretty regularly. It's not a couple of cops. It's not just a couple of cops. What are the
super chat? I'm gonna push back a little bit. I like Mary. I do like Mary Malaki. I've always liked all of your comments. I don't want you to get mad at me. But I'm going to read your comment. You said, I wish the federal lawsuit wasn't addressed and answered by Aiden on Billy Bush's hot mics. I felt this info should have been released by Alan Jackson and team in a statement, in my opinion. Number one, I'm going to say I didn't see it, so I don't even know what he said or what was answered. But like I'm going to quote like Jimmy, it sounds like more of a you problem than an Aiden problem. Like, why do you care? Like, I don't care. Like that, I don't get why you care that he addressed something. He got asked a question and answered a question. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I mean, and for me too, I also come from the perspective that these lawyers owe Aiden more than Aiden owes the lawyers anything. So that's my perspective, but I don't get it. I don't get why you care on that.
What are the odds that you would get a Proctor and a Buchanan and a Tully and these folks that have all been disciplined, Kevin Albert, who have been disciplined, some of them have been fired, almost all of them have been removed from their positions in one case. What are the odds? The odds are almost zero unless the corruption goes extremely deep, unless that kind of conduct is rife throughout the community of the Massachusetts State Police. And also, it doesn't just go deep, it goes high. Michael Morrissey is at the top of that list. He knows better. He damn well knows better. He's a political hack who knows better. And all he cares about is his next election. That's all he gives a crap about, which is offensive.
Were you surprised to see Commissioner Cox say that he had no idea that Kelly Deaver was even involved in the Karen Reed case?
How he would be on that, Greg. He actually said, "I've never said the name Karen Reed. That name has never crossed my lips. I've never talked about her or talked about this case." Are you kidding?
Great question by Greg Hill. Short and sweet. Getting all the questions in quickly. This guy is a pro, no doubt about it. It's obvious. And I got to say, for people who don't know about this show, Bowl Cut Lineup says this is great awareness for an audience that may not know about the case or want to know. This is a sports show. I think it's great. I agree 100%. I think it is great. And not only is it a sports show, it's one, basically if you look at the ratings in Boston, and radio in general, the top shows are Morning Drive and Afternoon Drive. And this is arguably one of the top two shows in Morning Drive in Boston. It's usually Toucher and Rich and the Greg Hill Show. Those are like the top two radio shows in Boston. They're both sports radio. So this is arguably one of the biggest radio shows in Boston, and it's sports radio. So, it's a different demographic. It's more men than women. Like when we're covering Karen Reed, my demographics now have kind of split. Like they used to be more men than women that used to watch me when I was doing the cannabis stuff. Now with this Karen Reed stuff, it's like 65, 70% women. So this is kind of a different audience where it's mostly males. There's obviously some women who do listen to sports radio, but mostly sports radio is male oriented. So this is a different audience. It's a big audience, and it's a good audience to get this in front of. So great comment, and absolutely so true. And it's a great place for this to be aired on, no doubt about it.
Are you kidding me? One of your officers was fallen. One of your cops was found dead on a lawn of one of your cops. And one of your, the third leg of that stool is one of your cops is central to the case, dealing with not just one of your officers who's dead, but on the central piece of that puzzle is it happened on one of your officers' lawns. And you're telling me you've never said the name, you don't know the name Karen Reed, you've never heard of this case, you don't know anything about it? Well, either you're incompetent or you're lying, one of the two. And now that you're saying that conversation with Kelly Deaver, however she wants to pronounce it, never took place, are you kidding me? Then that tells you one of two things is true. Either you're lying, Commissioner Cox.
Funny is Sarah, one of our mods, just made a comment about apparently someone didn't like my commentary. It's so funny when these comments come up. I didn't see it. It's funny how so many people apparently are liking the show because the numbers keep going up the whole time I'm streaming tonight. So and all the comments have been good, but I guess there's one person out there that had to make it known that they didn't want to hear my commentary, which is hilarious to me. But you're here watching. Thank you so much for complaining, whoever you are, that I didn't see the comment. Thank you for helping support us. Very much appreciate you, whoever you are. Oh, Sarah says it's 3 people now. So there's been 3 people who've been complaining. Thank you to the Crybaby 3.
Or you've just proved my point that she's a liar. Which one is it?
Well, Alan, you did have a good officer on the stand, though, for you guys, and Officer Barros. And in my opinion, watching that unfold, I think he's the reason, one of the main reasons that the jury swayed in your direction. I mean, he seemed like he was almost a smoking gun.
Nick Barros is a hero, no question. Like I said, most of the men and women carrying a badge and carrying a gun do God's work every single day, and he's among those. He is an absolute hero. He was willing to step up. There was no thin blue line. That's not the cloth from which he's cut. He doesn't care about those kinds of things. He's going to tell the truth because that's what he does. It's what he saw. It's what he heard. Whatever that is, that's what he's going to testify about. And that's what he did. He had the guts to get up on the witness stand and tell the jurors exactly what he saw. And what he saw was, and what he established was, that taillight was not broken, not completely smashed out when Michael Proctor first got a hold of that truck. It did not look like it did after he got a hold of it and after all those taillight pieces were found at 34 Fairview. That tells the jury all they need to know about the condition of the taillight and what Michael Proctor and his people were doing with that car.
Alan?
There have been very good questions. This has been a great interview thus far. I got to thank, I love that, the Crybaby 3. I'm sorry, Sarah, you had to put more people in timeout. This always happens when I get too chatty, when I play video. There's always those people that come up and they get mad at me. And especially tonight, I am very chatty. I haven't done a show in a while. And I had fun watching all of this stuff. This is so fun, the karma that's coming out. Like, this is just, remember how they kept saying karma was coming to all of us? Now we're just watching them all squirm every day. This has just been so much fun. It's fun. I'm really enjoying myself. And it's funny that we have these people crybabying while I'm so happy. Like, oh, I love it. I'm so happy. I love it. I'm just opinionated. I'm talking too much. I promise I won't be like this next time Better Road comes on. I keep myself, I gotta, I'll ask the short questions.
And who is in the running to play you in the movie?
I thought it was you. You and I talked about this, Greg. You said it was you.
I have done some acting.
You're going to have to go to Modern Pastry and just eat there for the whole civil trial for that to work.
He has an IMDb page, not a big deal.
I think there's an undeniable likeness. Come on.
Yeah, he's got the goatee. They got the goatee.
Yeah, I have no idea. Who knows? Who knows? Right. Danny DeVito, maybe. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be. Well, I'll play Alan Jackson and the. I got the goatee too. I'm gonna play him. Did you guys see how good of an actor I am in the Revere Beach video? The one-arm push-ups. I got some IDM credits. I got some cinematography credits. I did that music video. Did you see that? I think I'm ready to play Alan Jackson in Hollywood now. I've got some big time acting credits now, folks.
I appreciate you taking the time, and it is of interest, I think, that you are now joining that team that will not only defend the civil case with Karen, but also decide whether or not there is a lawsuit to be filed. So, Wiggy, did you have one?
No, the only question I had for
Alan, Wiggy didn't watch much of the trial. I couldn't get him into it. I tried.
He wants Idris to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wiggy, I'll take my apologies now, Wiggy.
No, believe me.
My apology now.
Listen, the one thing I learned growing up as a kid, always know a defense lawyer. The thing I would just ask is, in this situation, you talked about the money the state spent. Clearly, Karen Reed spent a ton of money. Where does she go to? I mean, it's probably impossible for her to get her life back, but where does she go to be able to recoup some of that money to pay you guys off?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, look. First of all, I don't care about the money. I've made it pretty clear in other forums that's not why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. Every once in a while, you have this magnum opus case in front of you as a lawyer, and you better be willing to step up and do the right thing. Look yourself in the mirror and realize that at the end of your career, there have been times when people have needed you, people in need that can't do what they want to do and need to do. Without you, and you're just going to step up. So that's what we did.
You say that,
Alan.
Alan, you say that, and people lose their minds. They say, "There's no way this guy's working for free." Think of all the attention that he's gotten out of this. Like, what's your answer to that when people say that?
My answer is that's exactly what's happened. I have not asked for a dime from her because it's cost her life, not just a bank account. It's not she was not a rich woman to begin with. She was doing just fine. She was doing just fine, and she was certainly. Better than a lot of folks financially. She was not a wealthy woman. It cost her everything. It cost her life, her reputation, her job, her professorship, her entire bank account. She had to sell her house. She doesn't have a car. It's cost her everything. So what am I going to do? Sit there and peel off more layers of that onion? If she were to get some sort of reprieve, some sort of financial reprieve, I couldn't live with myself. I could not live with myself. So every once in a while, it's just the right thing to do. So I don't know where she goes to sort of get her life back. She's going to try. She's going to work for it. She's not going to try. She's going to succeed. She will get her life back. She's going to land on her feet. She already has. This is the first step in that process. But I'm not worried about Karen Reed. Karen Reed is as tough as nails. She's as tough as shoe leather, and she's not going to let this get her down. There will be another very, very significant chapter to her life. What that looks like, only time will tell.
I'm gonna lock your number in.
Yeah. You may get a call. You may get a call from Wiggy Al.
Yeah,
I might know somebody. I might need you one day.
I like your pro bono.
That's what I'm talking about.
Civil trial not live streamed, correct?
Doubtful. No,
Okay.
there hasn't been a request, a media request that I'm aware of, and who knows what the judge would do in that case. But it's very, very unlikely. Very unlikely.
Alan, you're welcome on the show anytime, and look forward to catching up when you get back here in Boston, which became your second.
You guys are great. Yeah, keep a bowl of chowder warm for me. I'm coming back.
All right, Alan Jackson, thank you for taking the time, and we will be right back.
It was a very good interview. I like the last question Courtney asked too. That was a good interview. They asked some very good questions. Wiggy's a pro. He asked a good question too. Kept his mouth shut for the whole time. I would have him on my show as a sidekick. That he definitely earned his stripes on that one. Mary Malarkey with another comment tonight. Let's read this comment. The answer given by AJ in this interview confirmed my initial feelings. He wasn't ready to share. I did refer to what I have learned from the best teacher, Jimmy, before posting. Thanks for your opinion. Even if he wasn't ready to share, it is what it is. I don't really that. I don't know. I think you guys get caught up in the feelings of the attorneys too much. I don't think he thinks 2 seconds about it. I don't think it bothers him. I don't. I really don't. And I think it was already, most of us already knew. I don't know. I've known that for a while, actually. I think a lot of people already knew that anyways, honestly. Sarah B. Creative said 1999 said, I got to give some love here. We bonded with Styles P, Ghost, and I'll never forget that. Oh, yeah, I love Styles P. It's one of the best days ever meeting Styles P. I've seen what you have done for my Vermont Med card. Love. Oh, appreciate you for advocacy, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat, 1999. Thank you so much, Sarah B. Creative. Enjoy that. Yeah, Styles P's cool. I like Styles. Good guy. Good music, too. Great performer. Loves his cannabis. Thank you, Romy, as well, for being a member for 10 months. M had a comment earlier I want to address. She said, I have a $700 vet visit coming up this week. Oh, no. I hate those. Yeah. If you need help, let me know. Honestly, you've helped me so much. So I have a huge vet bill coming too with Charlie. Our vet bills, as your dogs get older, the vet bills get bigger. We've got them on heart medications, which are very expensive now. They go through those quickly. We got to take them in again for like another ultrasound, and then we also like basically anytime our Charlie goes into any vet stuff, we have to give him a whole series of medications to sedate him, and especially an ultrasound, and also when we have him even groomed, we have to have him groomed at the vets under sedation. And so we're looking at thousands of dollars at a next vet visit too, and it's like a regular thing for us now, like every 6 months or so. It sucks. But that's the reality of pets. When you have a pet, unfortunately, there is a lot of cost, and I hope people consider that and budget for it. I'm ready for it. I budget for it. Yeah, some people have pet insurance. That's always a good thing if you can get it. Unfortunately, a lot of the pet insurance doesn't always pay out when you need it when they get older. They pay out when you're young, when the dog's young, and then when they get older, they cancel the policies. Even that's become a big issue lately. So, but yeah, pet insurance can be helpful. I probably should have got it for Charlie, but I just look at it as this is going to be our last dog for a while, probably forever, actually, because we've had so many dogs, and we want to be able to travel a little bit. So it is what it is. I'm just glad I can afford it. Some people can't afford it. That's the tough thing. There's a guy, Dan, what's his name? Dan Ray on WBZ Radio Nightside. He has a fund called the Shadow Fund, which is a charity, and the charity actually helps people who can't afford to pay for vet care, which I love. So maybe if anyone's ever having an issue with paying for vet care, you may want to check that fund out, the Shadow Fund. If anyone wants to kick in, maybe look into that. Very cool. I like he does that. Thank you, Laura. Laura says, in addition to the vet, mine chewed up my leather couch. Ouch. Oh, I know. You don't even know, Laura. We have a leather couch too, and we had a dog that used to visit us and stay with us. We were dog sit him, and he's the sweetest dog, but he used to get anxiety, especially when we would leave, and he got so friendly with Charlie that his anxiety calmed down. He got way better over periods of time, and as he started to stay with us, he gets so excited to stay with us. But one of the first times he stayed with us, there was a storm, and we used to have to give him anxiety medicine anytime there was a thunderstorm. And I think we had been out, and we came back, and he had torn up the leather couch. He had ripped the hell out of it. Oh, but the bottom line is we still miss him. Like he passed away now, and every time we look at it, we never fixed it. We said we were gonna fix it. We tried to bring someone in, and the customer was gonna pay. We never had it fixed. And every time we look at it, we're like, we just miss Gussie. We don't even care what he did to the couch. We just miss him. He was such a great dog. I love that dog. Yeah, I know. It's funny because we have covers on all the furniture. He ripped it off. Like he he ripped it off. He ripped off the cover and got to it. That we have it all covered up now. So you can't even tell. If you come to my house, you wouldn't even know that he had ripped up the because we covered it. But try to have someone come in and fix that. You can't even get anyone to come in. It's hard to find workers now on anything, especially for niche things like that. All right, I think we're gonna wrap it up now. I think we're pretty good. I mean, we could go over a couple more things. I'm definitely gonna have probably post the Grace Curley audio that I did maybe later tonight, probably tomorrow. So there'll probably be some new video that I'll put out tomorrow from the Grace Curley show. I'll probably also post that on iTunes. I'm sure they cut that up on our Twitter as well. So there's some other audio if you want to listen to that from the interview I did today on the Grace Curley. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping on the Grace Curley show today. And there's a couple things I'm looking forward to announcing soon, pretty soon, hopefully. So some good things happening, and looking forward to sharing some stuff for you with you when the time is right. I want to thank Kathy. Kathy is kind of a neighbor of mine. Kathy R. She said $10, and she said, "Keep up the good work, Mike." Thank you, Kathy. So glad you're still watching and still sending me those little Venmos. I really appreciate it. $10 goes a long way. Thank you so much, Kathy R, for sending the Venmo. Barbara M also sent $10 on Venmo tonight and said, "Gift." Thank you so much, Barbara M, another regular contributor. Thank you so much. Arthur H today. This was earlier today. Said $20. I think it's his first time donating. I don't think I've seen his donation before. He said, "Found you during the Karen Reed trials. Sticking around to see more. Appreciate your coverage and insight. Keep up the good work." I'm so glad people are sticking with us after the Karen Reed. I know a lot of people have. Some people have moved on, but a lot of you have stuck with us, and I really do appreciate it. A couple days ago, Mitch H also sent $25 and said, "Great journalism" on Venmo. Thank you so much, Mitch H. Deanna Only, she's also sent $25 like 4 days ago. I don't think I thanked her. She said, "Because you deserve it." Thank you so much, Deanne. Also, Donna R sent $25 4 days ago and said, "Keep fighting, Mike." Melanie R also sent $20. Maureen Whalen sent $9.70. I think I got all those. And Elaine Boris sent $100. That was 4 days ago when, the judge threatened me. Thank you so much for everyone who made all those donations. That's very generous of you and much appreciated. I also want to check out the Cash App. I want to thank all of you for sticking with me. I think we almost got to 1,000. We were at like 900 all night. We almost got to 1,000. I'm sure we actually probably did cross it at one point because we were getting really close. But I appreciate you. The whole show, we were steady and just moving up, just very casually. Very thankful everyone's watching tonight. Red Eye Lax to BOS Barlow sent $10 the other night and said for the journalism. Thank you so much. I appreciate that as well in the Cash App. And I think I did thank all the Venmos and the Cash Apps and the Super Chats. I want to thank our moderators. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Jen O. And thank you, Scott McGinnis, our mod team here. And I want to thank everyone who watches and comments and leaves the Super Chats. I thank you so much for watching tonight. Can I go over to the Canton Select Board meeting? Well, I guess we could take a look at it. Is it on YouTube? Let me take a look. Is that still happening? Do you just want? Maybe we should watch it from the beginning. How long is it? That's what I'd want to know. Like, how long does this thing last? Is it good throughout, or is it just good for like 10 minutes? Like, what's going on over there? Let me know. Groton. I'll go Groton Select Board. See what comes up. That tonight. See, I'm not seeing it. I just looked up Groton Select Board and I'm seeing they haven't posted in 7 years, so I'm guessing it's on someone else's channel. Whose channel am I looking for? That's what I need to know where I can watch it. Great show. I'm not seeing it. If I can't find it, I can't play it. I wouldn't mind watching it, but I don't know where it is. I have no idea where. Maybe I gotta look up Long Island Audit, maybe. I guess I can look there. All right, let's try that. Long Island Audit. All right, we'll play a little bit of it. why don't we? I got it up. We can play this. Looks like it's long, so I'm gonna take a break. Maybe I'll come back. But I kind of want to check this out too. Why the heck not? We're playing everything tonight. So I guess I'm not leaving yet. We'll play a little bit of this. Long Island Audit, YouTube. Why not? Let's check it out. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Yeah, this is interesting. This police officer is way out of control. I don't know much about this or anything beyond what I saw a little bit of the video, but that video was out of control. So this is worth watching. Let's
Thank you all
check it
for
out.
joining me for this live stream. Please take a moment, hit the like button, and
I'll be
share
back.
this live wherever you can. We are coming to you live right outside of the town hall here in Groton, Corrupticate. We are here to speak to the councilmen and women of the town of Groton to try and get some justice for the injustice that we suffered here in Groton. They already have law enforcement officers stationed here. There's about 3 law enforcement officers all communicating with each other, all for peaceful men and women who want to petition their grievances to their government. Thank you all for your support, your donations. Thank you. Your emails, writing to the governor of Connecticut. I see it all. Everything you guys do for me, I am eternally grateful for. Thank you so much. I'm also very appreciative to John Felix, Leroy Truth, Garden State Accountability, We the People News, Full Court Press. They have come here to support me. They are inside right now in the public meeting. So the public meeting does not start for another 25 minutes. Starts at 6:30. I have put my name down on the list to speak during public comment. So I have a speech ready. We're gonna try and get some accountability here. We're gonna try and get them to listen to us. We want them to listen to us. So, and really hear us, not just listen, but hear us, hear our concerns, hear what happened to me. They know what happened. They need to hear it. We need to make sure that they understand that this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable behavior. Constitutional rights violations shouldn't be accepted anywhere, not in the state of Connecticut, and not anywhere, but especially not in the Constitution state of Connecticut, right? They label themselves the Constitution state. If you look at anybody's license plate here, it says the Constitution state. So I told these officers, they have about 3 officers. I love it. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. He gave me the thumbs up. You guys give me the thumbs up in the video. Appreciate it. We're going to go inside and see if we can speak to, I believe Leroy Truth is here. John Felix, Garden State Accountability, We the People News. Let's turn this around. Actually, we'll keep it like this. Why not? Why not? You can look at my beautiful face. No, maybe it's not. Just kidding. Let's see how many people are in here. We are inside. So this is the law enforcement officer that's going to be stationed here. Apparently, we are the danger, not the unhinged lunatic. That's a danger. You ever worked this detail before, officer? Have you ever worked a detail like this before in town hall? Have you ever worked a detail in town hall before? Like this? No? Oh, first time? Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. So this is something new. This is the town manager over here. Council members, town manager. So they put this up. This wasn't here last time because I dared to get close to them. These people are ridiculous. I dared to walk over here. Dared. How dare I? I dared to walk right over here, still behind their desk, and talk to them. I stood right here and asked them questions about the injustice, the grave injustice that's taking place here in the town of Groton. I dared to do that. So because I dared to do that, they put up this rope here. No public access beyond this point unless invited. Look, top-notch security system they got going on here. Look at this. Top-notch. So easily removable. So her husband, the mayor's husband right there, her husband assaulted me and bumped into me several times while I was trying to speak. So we have everybody here supporting, got cameras everywhere, as you can see. We have the OGs right here, John Felix.
Hi, everyone.
man.
How are you?
Good. How
Such
are
a
you?
pleasure to meet Sean. He owes me some new underwear.
We had a good time in the car. So it looks like 10 more minutes, the meeting's gonna be starting. I'm sitting right here. I have my speech ready to go, as you can see.
We're gonna limit you to 2 minutes today.
2 minutes?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Really? That's it? I signed up, right. Right, I signed up. Wow.
Yeah, they
2 minutes. We're gonna have to go in 2x speed.
Yeah, I'm
We're
gonna
gonna
be
have
like
to-
micro machines.
I've been to town halls and public meetings everywhere. I have never been
30
limited to
minutes
2
total,
minutes.
By the way, 30 minutes total.
30 minutes total?
And you're first on the list.
I'm first on the list. Wow, 2 minutes. I'm not gonna be able to get through all this. What cowards you
If
are.
you want me to do
It's
a continuation? I
For
can
a
do that.
3 hour, a scheduled 3 hour meeting, and they limit public comment. Why don't you just cut something else out? Your photo ops or whatever else you're doing. Look at them. Look at these cowards. I have never threatened violence on any of them. Look at them. Look at it. To keep the people, the taxpayers. I don't pay taxes here, but when I stay in hotels, I do. When I buy things here, I do. Wow. 2 minutes. Can you believe that? And they put up this little guardrail here to protect them from journalists, people asking them questions. No, I did not. I did not. I know. I did not. I did not. It's coming here. It's coming here again.
You're a brave guy.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate
I
it. Thank
saw
you.
the video.
Oh yeah. Anybody who sees the video can understand what happened there, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Craziness. 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 Absolutely crazy. They have a law enforcement officer right here. 2 minutes each. I'm sure he's loving. Got Leroy Truth over here. I am sure. Hey, Leroy.
Hey, hello. Hello, everybody.
I'm sure he's loving his job right now. And they
say it's definitely 2 minutes.
that's what they're telling me. It's 2 minutes.
That's insane.
2 minutes
And
is
so they make it up from week
ridiculous.
to week. Is that how it goes?
I have no idea.
So when they don't like people, they just say 1 minute.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. What about
30
one?
seconds?
While we're at it, why don't we just do 1 minute?
Matter of fact, time's up.
What about 30 seconds?
Did you ask about the time?
No, I didn't. You did the town manager here too.
He says the mayor. Mayor Franco, can we get 5 minutes to talk each time, please? I heard it was reduced. I called earlier today and they said 3 to 5 minutes we would be given. And then the town manager said only 2 minutes.
If you're so kind, Your Highness. Look, ladies and gentlemen. Look, ladies and gentlemen. No public access beyond this point. Why? This wasn't here last time. Why? Because I dared to go right in front of their dais there to ask them questions. As her husband right here, her husband, the mayor's husband, bumped me and pushed into me and was aggressive to me. Yet he wasn't arrested. He wasn't arrested for anything. And this is another councilman who I believe he's friends with former Sergeant Brian Fahey, this individual right here. Let's see if we can get his name. Councilman Good? I believe Councilman Good is friends with Brian Fahey, another tyrant. Look at these signs and their section that they keep. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So I heard that the mayor is not running for re-election, probably because her husband's a psychopath and an aggressive psychopath at that. But, you know, look at them. They think they're above us. They think they're above us. We have 8,000 people in here. Please hit the like button. We're going to expose everything. I'm sure the residents, I'm going to go door to door and I'm going to ask all the residents what's really going on in the town of Groton. I'm sure they have a lot to tell me. I'm sure. And the local news won't cover it. They don't care.
Get someone to say it's wrong for me, but then she's a reporter.
The answer is yes. So it looks like they're all getting here, guys. Right. I gotta come 3 times to get 6. I know. I think it's all gonna blow over, that's why. 2 minutes. And that was the Connecticut State Trooper said that as well.
And Connecticut State Trooper Davis, you did a good job. Little town. Not very quiet, like a church now. This is not a church.
So we have our speech here, ladies and gentlemen. This is longer than 2 minutes, so I'm gonna have to.
We have somebody else. You can't get it out.
Oh, right, that's a good idea. Hey, Leroy, whatever I don't finish, do you want to continue? Yeah, he signed up. Yeah, he signed up. That's a great idea, sir. Thank you for that. It's a great idea.
I've been here before.
He's dealt with these kinds of things before. What cowards you all are, really. Really. Yeah, okay. Sure. Whoever, I don't care.
Woman that just went by, that was a great.
Hey, Mayor, why did Dave Franco assault me?
Oh, really? That's great. Great.
Your husband assaulting journalists?
I bet you she doesn't. She's gonna be gone soon, I think.
The mayor's husband put his hands on it?
Yeah, he body checked me and Leroy.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Why would they get physical with somebody who's not doing it?
And then because of her husband, they put this barrier up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I guess they don't want violent.
Words, it seems like.
They don't want violent people up there.
Cameras and words really bother them. They gotta get violent. Violent people, and they have a barrier.
3 minutes.
That barrier to protect us from you. All right. I think it is. Seems like we're gonna have to walk around with our own security, armed security.
They're like chained. They're like caged up, like an animal farm.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Sunburn headache. Can I pay you overtime, officer, to be my bodyguard? Right, that's gonna be a lot of money.
Looks like you guys got a lot of money here, so we will see how that works out in a federal lawsuit. I don't know. And that's what I really feel bad for. I feel bad for the residents because it doesn't come out of their pockets. It's going to come out of all their pockets. It's going to come out of their services. I don't want to do that, but that's why when they settle the lawsuit, I'm going to come back here and give back to the community. We're going to do something nice. Because it's about accountability. It's not about money. It's about accountability. Build a park or something. What?
Oh,
yeah.
So the cop law that you guys discussed.
Yeah.
So did he work for the town of Groton?
No. He's a state trooper. He's a state trooper, yeah.
So why?
Because what happened was.
I guess why are you here?
Yeah, so I'm here because the town of Groton Police Department, when he spat in my face and brandished a gun, they arrested me and my cameraman for ridiculous charges.
I was getting confused.
Yeah. No, he was the aggressor, but they arrested me. They're the ones that effected the arrest. Protecting him.
Worked for the town. But
No, he was protected by the town police, right? Because your police chief, as you know, worked for the, if you didn't know, he worked for the state police for 22 years.
Well, I live in the city of Groton, so we actually have 2 different police
Oh,
departments.
okay.
Actually, 3
It's the
different
town
police
Groton.
departments.
It's the town of Groton is one of my issues with, yeah. Their police chief worked for the state police for 22 years, collects a nice fat pension. Now he works here, collects a salary here, and he protected that state police officer by arresting me, the victim. Right.
I was getting confused.
$75,000 bond. That's what the police gave me.
That was what it was.
Yeah. Insane. Hit the like button. Share. Looks like we're gonna get started here.
So it's a microphone?
Yes, microphone. So the person all the way to the left is the town manager. Right in the middle is the mayor. And around them are the councilmen and women of the town of Groton, the leaders of this town. Wait, make sure you guys hit the like button. Oh, recording. I thought you guys hate recording.
Is her husband here now?
Nah,
Oh, you didn't show up today, huh?
coward.
Hit and run, hit and run. Feedback. You're gonna get some feedback tonight.
Good evening. You're calling the August 5th regular town council meeting agenda. Order, roll call, town clerk. Linda, would you like to do roll call? Yes. Councilor Waterman? I'm here. Good.
Here.
Jones?
Here.
McBride?
Here.
Merritt?
Here.
Parker? Here. Pacino?
Here.
Russ? Here. And Mayor Franco? I'm here. Thank you. We'll now conduct the salute to the flag.
The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under.
Stop this for 1 second because I know some people haven't seen what's happened here. And just to give you a little reference, I don't know every detail, but I did watch the video. There was an incident where Sean, this gentleman, Sean, knocked on a Connecticut State Police officer's door. I'm not sure if he was retired. I believe he's stepped down since then because of the incident. I could be wrong on that part of it. But anyways, Sean knocks on the door to ask for comment. And the guy comes out of his house with a gun. And he gets very aggressive. He's getting right in Sean's face. And Sean's backing up. Sean's walking down the driveway, leaving. And the cops show up. And they don't arrest the police officer who isn't in uniform with the gun out. No, they arrest this guy, Sean, and his cameraman, which is even worse. So the whole thing's a bunch of BS. They arrest the two people who don't pull out the gun. They don't arrest the guy with the gun, so that's why he's here. So I hope that makes sense. So let's just watch this, and if you have any comments or questions, we'll try to answer them. But this it's pretty crazy. This is wild. And yeah, and he spit in his face. That's the big thing. Thank you for reminding me of that. He also spit in his face. So I mean, that's assault. He spits in his face and pulls out a gun. And they arrest the dude who gets spit in the face and his cameraman. The cameraman didn't do anything. It's giving me Turtle Boy vibes, this whole thing.
Liberty and justice for all, huh? Oh, man.
We do not have any recognition awards in general this evening. Your public hearings. So we're going to go on to receipt of citizen petitions, comments, and concerns. Receipt of citizen petitions is the portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from the citizens to address the council. Please sign the sheet on the table at the front of the meeting room. When you are recognized by the mayor, please approach the podium, clearly state your name and address, and speak into the microphone. Each presentation should be limited to 2 minutes or less.
2 minutes.
Citizens should, if possible, submit written comments. The total time allotted for this portion of the meeting is 30 minutes. In order to preserve the order of the meeting as referenced in Rule 5H of the Rules and Procedures to govern the 34th Town Council. To speak in person during this portion of the meeting, people were to sign up at the meeting before the call to order. You may also register to speak in person in advance by email at council@groton-ct.gov, no later than 4 p.m. on the day before the meeting.
Good question. So for me, I have a question of, I was not aware that we were changing the speaking time and putting a restrict to the amount of time, which we've never done in the past, saying that if you change it to the normal speaking time, you didn't say there was a limit to 30 minutes total. So I'm just curious where all this comes from.
It's in level 5H.
It's not something we've ever used in any other public comment.
It is in level 5H.
Yeah.
So I have a comment I would like to make before we begin citizens' comments. I'd like to clarify certain facts to facilitate the timely consideration and order of this meeting and the town council's agenda items of tonight's scheduled town business. First, Sergeant Brian Fahey is not and never has been employed by the town of Groton. He is a sergeant with the Connecticut State Police.
Former.
Similarly, any officers or attorneys assigned to the New London Superior Court are state of Connecticut employees who work for the Connecticut Judicial Branch and not for the town of Groton or its police department. The town of Groton, including the town council, town manager, police chief, or any other town employee, does not have jurisdiction or authority to make decisions regarding additional criminal charges related to the events of July 11th.
Liar.
At this time, this remains an active investigation, and any decisions on criminal charges as a result of that incident rest solely with the state prosecutor's office.
Probably a load of
We'll now
bullshit.
take citizens' comments. First up is Sean Paul Reyes.
Champ is here.
It is now 6:35. We are beginning public comment.
No authority over Sergeant Brian Fahey, former Sergeant Brian Fahey, but you have plenty of authority. Your police department has plenty of authority to level baseless, felonious charges against myself and my cameraman. That's good to it's good to know. My name is Sean Paul Reyes. I'm an independent journalist and the founder of Long Island Audit. I'm most importantly a citizen who cares deeply about accountability and public trust in law enforcement. On July 11, 2025, something happened here that should alarm every single person who believes in justice. A Connecticut State Police Sergeant, Brian Fahey, brandished a firearm, physically assaulted me, and even spat in my face while I was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity. Asking questions about suspected overtime fraud, a matter of clear public concern. Let me be very clear, I was 150 feet away from his door on my way out when this armed lunatic stormed out of his house with a gun in one hand, a phone in the other, and rage in his voice. He got in my face, bumped into me, threatened me, pointed his weapon near me, and then spit directly in my face and mouth, all while falsely claiming to 911 that I threatened to kill him, which is a crime for anybody else. This wasn't law enforcement. This was lawless under the color of authority. What happened next? The Groton Police Department, I like how, Mayor, you like to try and single yourself out. You know, we're not in charge of the Connecticut State Police or New London Judicial District. But what happened next? Your police department arrived, and instead of arresting the aggressor, the person who committed felonies, they arrested me and my cameraman on baseless charges of felony voyeurism, criminal trespass, and breach of the peace. My bond, which was set by your police department, was originally set at $10,000. But on body camera, they told me they were receiving calls from high up. Was it you? Was it you? Who were the calls from high up? Was it the police chief who worked for the Connecticut State Police for 22 years? They received calls from high up and they said, well, now your bond is $75,000. $75,000. This isn't an isolated incident. Accountability isn't optional. Transparency isn't optional. And it is your public duty as public servants to do the right thing because the people of Groton, the people of Connecticut, and the people of this country deserve better. And you're cowards for limiting it to 2 minutes. You can list your address for me.
Mr. Burt, is the address required here?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Up next is, if we do not have order within the chamber, I do have the authority to clear the chamber.
Just
Thank you. Be right there.
Just let her have it. Just let her have it.
I just testify, you, Mayor Franco.
Your name?
I am Leroy Truth of Leroy Truth Investigations on YouTube. Please subscribe to me now. Good evening, everyone. Let me just say, I get it. I totally understand why Connecticut State Trooper Sergeant Brian Fahey would spit directly into the mouth of peaceful journalist Sean of Long Island Audit. I mean, Sean had the unmitigated gall, the unspeakable audacity to walk, not run. You can look up, Mayor Franco, give a little respect here. Sean had the audacity to walk, not run, not teleport, not evaporate at 186,000 miles per second off Fahey's property after being told to leave. I mean, come on, Sean. What were you thinking? Everyone knows when a Connecticut state trooper with an ego the size of his government pension says, "Get off my lawn," you're supposed to dematerialize like you're in a Marvel movie. And the way Sean dared to stand there with a camera, not a gun, not a grenade, but a Canon or a Sony or an iPhone or whatever those damn peaceful auditors use these days, he might as well have launched a nuke, right? The horror, the tragedy, the nerve. But seriously, let's flip the script, because that's what this moment demands. Sergeant Brian Fahey is not a hero. He is not a protector. He is a government-issued goon with a badge and a bubbling psychological breakdown. He didn't have to come out of his house. He wasn't under threat. He wasn't provoked. He chose to close the distance. And you tried to get away from responsibility. The reason that this shite show happened, number one, Brian Fahey spitting into the mouth of Sean Long Island Audit. Number two, your police, the Groton police, arresting, mind-blowingly arresting an innocent journalist and an innocent cameraman. Who gave that order, Mayor Franco? Who gave that order? That's why we're here. Don't blame this man. He's a journalist. He's been doing what journalists have done for generations, try to get the truth, and you can't handle the truth. What do you have to say? You discuss me. You discuss we the people.
Thanks, Mama. What you tried to do with the time, I'm not giving you my name. You don't deserve my name. You don't deserve an address. Thank you. All right. What you did with the time, what you've never done before, limiting this public speaking time to 2 minutes is terrible. I commend you for bringing that point up, a rule that's never been used. This is all to silence we the people. Us. We want a voice, but now you've limited our voice. You've limited the speaking time just to 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You see how many people are here? You don't want to hear us. That's why you limited the time. Disgusting. All right, so I'm here today because of what happened to Sean Paul Reyes in your town. He was arrested for peacefully filming and asking questions, something protected by the First Amendment. At the same time, a police officer allegedly spit on him, pulled a gun, and was not charged. That's not fair. That's a double standard. Groton now has a choice. Will you stand up for fairness? I don't think you will. I definitely don't think you will. You just want to hide it under the fucking rug. Truth and the rights of the people. Or will you protect the bad behavior by staying silent? I bet you will. I bet you will. Now, I ask you to take this seriously, look into what happened, be open and public, and make sure this doesn't happen again. I would like the other council members to stand up and speak up, because this mayor clearly won't. Please, this is crazy.
Good evening. To my fellow freedom enforcers who showed up tonight in the name of accountability, and to those men and women in uniform still confused about who the criminal was in Long Island Audit video. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the guys with the camera. My name is Full Court Press, and tonight I've got a humble request. Arrest me. I see how you operate, and I don't want to miss my turn. In Groton, you don't need to break the law to be arrested. You just need to document someone else breaking it. Let's walk through it, slowly, for those still taking notes in denial. A journalist, Long Island Audit, knocks on a public official's door, leaves when asked, calm and respectful. Then bursts out of the house, little Brian Fahey, off duty, armed, enraged, follows the man toward the street, spits in his face, gun on his hip, badge in his mouth, ego on full auto. What does Groton PD do? Do they arrest the armed man who just committed assault? The one shouting, "I'm a goddamn Connecticut state trooper," like it's a spell against accountability? Nope. You arrest the guy asking questions, And for extra laughs, you arrest the cameraman too. Because apparently in Groton, the real threat isn't the guy with the gun, it's the guy with the tripod. If irony were a crime, you'd be doing life without parole. Let's talk law. Connecticut General State Statute 53A61, spitting is assault. Physical injury includes pain or impairment of condition, saliva counts. That's not just gross, that's criminal, and the only people denying it are the ones protecting little Brian Fahey. What he did wasn't disgusting, it was a crime committed in public, on camera, under color of authority. And your response? Cowardice, corruption, collusion. So here I am, clean record, voice steady, camera ready, and I dare you to make your next mistake. So go ahead, arrest me. Throw me in a cruiser, I'll live stream it, narrate it in real time, and by the time the ink dries on your report, half the country will know your names, and none of them will spell hero.
Who's up next? Hi, John Felix, Transparency Accountability Coalition. You can try to say you don't have jurisdiction. You do have jurisdiction over the Groton PD. They did make a false arrest against Sean Paul. He's not the criminal. He's the victim of a Connecticut state trooper. And you're saying you're not protecting him, but your PD did protect him. And you're trying to deflect the blame on other people. You have jurisdiction over the people who made the false arrest, and your constituents are going to have to pay for it. You understand that, right? You don't just get to say, oh, it's not me. Oh, it's not me. It is you. You are in charge of them. I flew all the way up from Florida to come here to talk directly to you. What's wrong with you? And now you're taking 3 minutes away from me? You don't think that's just going to enrage us more? How would you like it if someone spit in your mouth? Would you like that? What if they did it to your child? What would you do then? Would you have your husband beat somebody up? Is that how you operate? The fuck is wrong with you? You have jurisdiction over the Groton PD. The Groton PD fucking did this. And now they're maliciously prosecuting him, and your fucking constituents are going to have to fucking pay for it. You feel good about yourself? You're going to take some responsibility or not? If you fucking vote for this dumbass lady ever again, you get what you fucking deserve, stupid ass.
Is this Groton, Connecticut, or is this rotten, Connecticut? Because right now what I'm seeing is a whole bunch of rottenness. Good evening, council members, mayor, and fellow Americans. I'm not here tonight to cause a scene. I'm here because a line has been crossed, and that line stomped on and violated by a disgraced and now retired Connecticut State Trooper, Sergeant Fahey. Last month, Sean Paul Reyes of Long Island Audit, a journalist, a First Amendment auditor, a man holding a camera, was assaulted, spit on, cursed at by that nasty, wretched, vile animal. Not in a back alley, not during a riot, but in broad daylight as he was engaged in his duties as a journalist and exercising the rights guaranteed under the Constitution. And what happened next? Nothing. No arrest, no suspension, no accountability, except for this man. He was arrested. His cameraman was arrested. Connecticut sent a clear message, the same message we've seen with Mississippi, with me, the same message out of New Jersey with Leroy Truth, that journalism is a threat, that transparency must be punished, that cops can commit crimes on camera and walk away clean. But this is not how it's supposed to be. We have three branches of government for a reason. When the courts won't act, when the legislature stays silent, the executive branch, this town, this city council, this mayor, you have the power to say enough is enough. You don't work for the state police. You don't answer to bad cops. You answer to the people. And the people are watching. The nation is watching. And the world is watching to see if Groton has a spine. So I ask you tonight, pass a resolution, condemn this act of violence, defend the First Amendment. Because if we don't stand up for our rights, we'll lose them. And once they're gone, they don't come back without a fight. Thank you.
Which is fair to all.
Not fair to anyone.
You're
not being fair to anyone.
You shouldn't.
5 minutes.
Recess the meeting until, and then come back. Up next, it says the Long Island Audit.
Have another time?
No, you can only speak once.
Where's that say in the rule?
Up
Yeah,
next
is that in your rule 5B?
Up next
Is that in your rule?
I'll take the Long Island audit then.
James D.
I'll take the Long Island audit.
You're Long Island one too.
I had no intention to come up here and speak, but I want to show support for Sean. What I saw was despicable. I'm gonna look at the police officer in here, because that's what I care about. Your department arrested this man? You should be ashamed of yourself. Your whole department should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, you guys are doing the wrong thing to the wrong people. Crime was committed, and you covered it up because the guy's a state trooper? What would your mom think? What would your parents think? Your kids, do they know what happened? Did you go home and say, hey, our department arrested this man? Think about the future, the children, everyone. This is the example you and your department are setting. Mayor, you're in this as well. This is your department. You oversee them. Get them in fucking order. I mean, really, enough's enough. Long Island Audit.
Hello. In a society, justice must stand as an impartial pillar that upholds fairness, equity, and the rule of law. When justice is divided into tiers, where some individuals receive preferential treatment based on wealth, status, or power, it undermines the very essence of what it means to be a free society. A tiered justice system not only breeds inequality, it also fosters resentment and distrust. As Thomas Jefferson once warned, laws and institutions must go hand in hand with progress of the human mind. For this progress to be genuine, it requires a justice system that is blind to power and privilege. When justice becomes a tool for the elite, those who are disadvantaged feel the system is rigged against them, diminishes the trust necessary for a functioning free society. Alexander Hamilton, one of our nation's most influential founders, also cautioned that the first duty of a society is justice. But when justice is doled out unevenly, when some individuals face harsher sentences than others for the same crime or are completely not held accountable for their crime, it erodes the societal contracts. Citizens begin to question whether the laws are truly just, which most are not, or whether they exist simply to protect the powerful. Our Constitution was written by James Madison, was founded on as written by James Madison, was founded on the idea that all men are created equal. All of us citizens are created equal. And that equality before the law should be non-negotiable. If we allow any form of hierarchy in our justice system, we risk creating a society where the law becomes a tool of oppression rather than a shield of freedom. And we're seeing that every day. We saw it with Long Island Audit. We see it all over the country every day where government officials and police officers are not held accountable for their bad actions. And it falls back, what they said earlier today or this evening, that falls back on the people of this town. You're going to get sued, and you're going to have to pay, and they're going to have to pay.
Good evening, Council. Lauren Gothier, 31 Boardson Road. If I knew I could use the F word, I certainly would have used it way before now. But anyways, I'll keep my comments truncated. I'm here to speak about Pleasant Valley and the preferred developer that's on your agenda again tonight for some reason. There's already been plenty of arguments made on why Pleasant Valley is the most appropriate spot for District 4 to receive a recreation facility, including parks, playgrounds, and athletic fields. But I want to specifically focus on the two arguments that have been made to turn Pleasant Valley into a high-density housing complex instead. Those two arguments being that there aren't many other areas in town for housing to go. This is incorrect. The Planning and Zoning Commission has been working on rezoning the IM district, which is that area by the Pequot Emergency Department and Mystic Marriott, where that controversial data center was supposed to go. Recently, we rezoned that so that multifamily housing can be built there. That's a large area that's now open to those types of developments. In addition, I know Groton City has been working towards rezoning to allow for housing.
Mike Boucher, 16 Hillside Avenue. The Community Investment Fund is a State Department grant program to promote economic and community development. At a CAL meeting, the agenda package listed 3 legitimate projects for CIF: Route 117, Groton Heights and Pleasant Valley School, and the athletic fields for $10 million. Without any notice before the meeting, a very questionable City of Groton seawall application appeared during the CIF portion of the CAL meeting. The City of Groton seawall improvement was for $9.8 million. Director Reinhardt provided very little information and simply stated that ledge and other stuff were hit and nothing much else. Council Borderline was prevented from gaining any information about the seawall and thus prevented from looking after the best interest of our Groton neighborhoods and advocating for our athletic fields. A motion was made and passed to support the seawall cost overruns for $9.8 million instead of athletic fields. Portia was the only councilor who stood up and supported our neighborhood athletic fields and refused to support the bailout of the City of Groton seawall debacle. The town council owes the Groton community and Council Borderline an apology for not allowing discussion to know more, and you failed to ask.
I suppose everybody.
It's like they got a lot of issues in this town.
Good evening, council. I've been a Groton resident for almost 5 years, formerly of Norwich. I actually had the distinction of having Chief Fazaro be my neighbor for 3 doors down. So I know him very well for the first 10 years of my life. So much so that the chief of Norwich, his father, attended both of my family's funerals. What I saw in July, what the police department did to this man, falsely arresting him, really concerned me. This is the first time I ever addressed a public setting like this. And I'm afraid that he's going to sue the town and the taxpayers are going to have to bear the burden of this. So I'm just wondering what the town's going to do about this.
That was good. This guy who supports the police. He's friendly with the police, local resident. He didn't like it.
Yeah, I got the message. John Goodrich was not going to make it tonight, so that he said to take his turn for him. My name is Ian Thomas, 24 Jefferson Drive. Full disclosure, I'm a member of the Board of Education and spouse to Councilor Bordelon. I just wanted to speak, first off, just I agree with Gauthier and Boucher as far as the topics of their conversation. I don't want to take my time on that since it's limited. I just wanted to take the opportunity to correct the record. Mayor Franco visited the Board of Ed last week and discussed some matters with the FOI case that was recently decided. I filed a complaint last year in regards to a situation that occurred July 9th, where Councilor Rusk made an inappropriate motion to require an apology for me being verbally abusive to the town attorney and also disrupting a previous meeting. This was found. Mayor Franco came to the Board of Ed and discussed findings. The findings actually, it was an interesting interpretation, but I will submit these to the record. There's a few articles here from the press and also the actual finding. I got the final decision in the mail last week, so there has been no appeal. It is a settled matter. I highlighted the section that is most pertinent. Paragraph 12 is a bit of a setup, but basically saying like at the time, Councilor Rusk interrupted auditor's presentation for the financial report, moved for a formal apology. The complainant was sitting quietly at the desk. So there was no disruption in the July 9th meeting to justify the Roberts Rules exemption. But moreover, the finding was that it was an inappropriate motion and there was no 2/3. Yes.
It's like they got a lot of problems in this town. A lot of problems, a lot of issues. Wow. One thing after another. Guys, like, I don't have enough time to address all the issues in the town.
Whatever BS they're gonna do now.
2025.
I'm not gonna sit here and listen to them. They didn't listen to me. No, I don't think they're gonna address shit.
It's like Canton Select Board. Just move on, right? This is wild. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip to the end.
Like you got
Said it
one
gets
councilman
good
here
when he
with
gets
integrity.
outside. Let's skip to the end when he gets outside. I heard it gets good.
One council member with
A
integrity.
bunch of
here.
cops come out and some shit.
Thank you. I just want to say that. So again, I'm not saying I don't.
I'm into 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The cowards. 2 law enforcement officers that are protecting them from men with cameras. From the bad guys with cameras. We had 2 minutes. Can you imagine 2 minutes to redress your government? It's absolutely insane. It's horrific. It's a travesty of justice. This is not America. This is not. We don't have freedom of speech if you limit it to 2 minutes. It's bad enough we have only 3 or 5 minutes. You should be able to speak for 10 minutes each, longer. But to limit it for 2 minutes? Are you kidding me? 2 minutes? What a coward that mayor is. What a disgrace that entire council is. And I really thought that one councilwoman, that she was on the right track, and then she says, I believe in due process. This isn't due process. This is an injustice. Look at all these law enforcement officers here collecting paycheck. How much overtime are you guys getting today? Huh? How much overtime are you guys getting today? A lot? Don't run away now. We're just sitting around doing nothing. Let's continue to sit around together and do nothing. Where's your police chief? Look at it. Look at all these. Look at all of them.
Look
at
them,
all of them.
statues.
They're like roaches coming out of. Look at them. Look.
God, they really are.
Look at all of them here. Where's your police chief? The police chief doesn't have the balls to speak to me? Where is he? Where is their sign? There is no sign. Where is their sign? You guys are cowards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of you out here collecting overtime. I'm sure you guys love it, right? Get all the overtime in the world. You're gonna unlawfully arrest me again, take me to jail, $75,000 bond. You guys gonna do that again? I don't see your police chief anywhere. Where is he? I don't know. At home?
Mountaintops.
Crazy. Sitting here doing nothing, collecting all this money, doing nothing. Yeah, follow me all you want, you cowards. Oh my God. Ridiculous. Tell your police chief to come out here and face me like a man and stop being a little tyrant. They're gonna unlawfully arrest me again. Look at them. Look at them, ladies and gentlemen. And these guys over here, they think it's funny. They think it's funny. Look at all this overtime, taxpayer money.
It's this comment here. From Charlie says, honestly, this guy is asking for trouble. I could see how you could feel that way. I mean, myself, I probably wouldn't do some of the stuff that he's doing here, but at the same time, maybe I would if I was arrested and had, that crazy, what was it, $75,000 bond, and they arrest this cameraman, and for what? Because he got spit on and threatened with a gun. So proportionally, I think his response is fine. Like, he hasn't, this is overkill. This is ridiculous. Why are all these cops here? No one's done anything crazy here. All they've done is speak. So you could say he's asking for trouble. I could see that viewpoint. It's not probably not stuff I would do. But at the same time, come on. With what they did to him, I'd be mad. And can you imagine? They arrested his camera guy. Can you imagine?
Hard at work. Thank you for everybody for the super chats. I see them now. I didn't see them before. Thank you. Appreciate your support. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
We're going to wait out here for the mayor and everybody else to leave. They got to leave, right? They got to get out of here. They got to leave somehow.
It's so stupid too. I could see police departments sometimes make mistakes like this and they arrest the wrong person, and especially because they have a bias. But this should have gotten dropped. Like, give it a day or two, and they should have said, you know what, we made a mistake. All charges dismissed. How hard is that? Instead, they got to double down and be idiots. This is idiotic. And if this mayor and police chief and the city council, the town council, select board, whatever we're calling this government, I'm not sure. I think it is a town of Groton, right? They should all be demanding it. They should all be speaking up after you saw that video. He got spit on. And it's one thing, if you want to say, okay, Sean committed a crime, he should have shown up at that guy's house. If that's what you're going to stand on, then have the police officer arrested. If you're gonna be such a hard ass that you think Sean should be arrested like this, then you have to come out and say this police officer needs to get arrested for spitting in the dude's face, for continuing to get in his face, approach him. That's assault. For the gun. I don't get it. I don't get why none of these people have the smarts at this point, considering how many views all this got. How much attention this has got. It's a failure.
All these law enforcement officers here collecting a paycheck. So they get to violate our constitutional rights. These guys right here, the Groton Police Department, and they get rewarded. They get rewarded with overtime at taxpayers' expense. There's about 8 law enforcement officers here sitting around doing nothing. You're not out there patrolling. You're not out there doing anything. You guys are just sitting here. Look, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nothing. Look at them. Nothing. Not protecting and serving anything. They're standing here. They get to unlawfully arrest me, put me in a jail cell, take my freedom away from me, and then get rewarded with unlimited overtime. And again, I know none of these people were there when I was arrested. I don't recognize any of them. But you know what? They're part of the gang. Did you speak up? No, they didn't speak up. Did they say, hey, what you did to that man was wrong? No. Are they over there speaking on my behalf at their town council meeting? No, they're not. They're going to toe the party line. They're going to do what their boss, Chief Facero, tells them to do, the corrupt 22-year veteran of the Corrupticate State Police. That's what they're going to do here. They're going to toe the party line because then they don't get this nice little overtime they got now, right? You can go work for New London, go work for anywhere else. Stand up for morals, stand up for your principles, stand up for the Constitution. That's what you should be doing. Not standing here doing nothing, literally nothing, collecting an overtime paycheck or whatever you're doing, any sort of paycheck, doing nothing. Won't the citizens of Groton need something? I don't know. Well, look, more down here. Cowards.
True. They're like ants. They're
Cowards,
like everywhere.
all at the behest of this corrupt, tyrannical mayor that, I can't believe it. This is ridiculous. Look at them. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Island Audit is
They
the
have nothing to
YouTube
say.
if you want to follow.
Nothing to say whatsoever. They should have been in here in full uniform and signed up for public comments. And what you did to that man wasn't right. We shouldn't have arrested him. I know the law. I'm a law enforcement officer. I know the law. He wasn't committing felony voyeurism. He wasn't committing breach of the peace, criminal trespassing. He left. He left when he told him to leave. It's very clear. And that's why it frustrates me. Even that councilwoman, she says, well, I believe in due process. This is not due process. Listen, if you're watching this, councilwoman, with all due respect, me going to court, that's not due process. That's malicious prosecution. It's all on video for the world to see. This is not due process. Let's see who's right. Let's see if little Fahey is telling the truth. Let's see if, Sean Paul's telling the truth. Let's see what happened. Let's look at the elements of the crime. Let's let a jury of our peers decide. No. It's on video. Clear retaliation. The only due process that needs to be taking place is the officers that unlawfully arrested me. They should be getting their due process in a federal court for federal crimes of violating my constitutional rights under color of law. That's their due process. That's the due process I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for them to go in a federal court to get arrested by the FBI, and then they can have their due process. That's what's entitled here. Not me being, me going through the court system and me being arrested by these jokers here. For what? For these tyrants? Call them what they are, not jokers. They're tyrants. They're tyrants. And there's a lot of corruption here in Groton. The mayor already announced she's not going to run for re-election. Wonder why? Limiting public comment. I have never seen that. I've been from California to Texas, New York, Florida,
I gotta say,
everywhere in between, Hawaii.
He hasn't been to Canton because Canton actually shut down public comment completely. Remember that, folks? Remember that? And then they went to Zoom. So Groton and Canton are very similar. I'm not sure. Does this get anything else interesting happen here? Because it is getting late. Turtle Boy's on. I want to redirect people to Turtle Boy. People in the chat that have already seen this. Should I keep playing it or should I just wrap it up here? Is there more to this? Anything happen here? Just wondering. We'll play a little more, but I think I'm about to wrap it up. And I am going to redirect everyone over to Turtle Boy. I want to go watch
meetings
Aiden.
all over this country, ladies and gentlemen, and never once have they limited public comment to 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
We do have it linked in the chat if you want to watch the whole video.
When bootlickers and these sheep out there, these mindless sheep and bootlickers say, oh, back to blue, they're heroes. What? Heroes? They're not heroes. They're just standing there. They're villains. They're not heroes. They're villains. They're tyrants because not one of them stood up for justice.
How you doing? Good, thanks.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
Good. First
Thank
time I
you.
ever did anything like that in my life.
Thank you for speaking up. I appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
not for me. You're not speaking up for me. You're
Right.
speaking up for what's right. You're
Yeah.
speaking up for what's the Constitution that all of these officers here took an oath to uphold.
And the thing that
It
gets
blows
me is
my
I
mind.
know Chief Azaro because he grew up like 3 houses down from me when I was a kid, and I played with him for hours on end. His father, as the police chief of Norwich, went to both of my family's funerals, both my mother and father. So we went to so many
Has
funerals.
the local resident that's friends with the police that came out. Very interesting. I'm going to wrap it up now. If you want to watch the whole video, there's more to this. You can definitely check it out. No, that guy he's talking to is the resident that showed up that was friends with the police that spoke up for him. All right, I'm going to wrap it up tonight. And I'm going to go watch Turtle Boy. I'm going to go check out Aiden, see what's going on with Aiden. I want to thank everyone for the super chats. Thank you, OnlyFan. Thank you so much, OnlyFan. I think you're the last super chat today. Got to stand up for that First Amendment. Thank you so much, OnlyFan. Aaron, thank you so much, Aaron, as well. And V Dot, love V Dot. He's the dude. He's the man. V Dot, you're such a good dude. Sarah, thank you. She's awesome too. Thank you so much for our moderator. We probably will get whacked for all the swears tonight, but whatever. It's worth it. L Woods, thank you. I love L Woods. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being. I'm glad to be your number one, Al. That's amazing. Thank you, Laura. Thank you as well. Thank you everyone who did all the super chats tonight. Sarah, I think I thanked everybody so far, and Mary, thank you. Thank you for still being here too, Mary. Even if we don't agree on one little thing. Romy, I love Romy. Thank you. Yes, Mary. All right, I think I thanked everybody. I'll see you soon. I'm not sure when, but you know me. I'm going to pop up. There's going to be probably a new video tomorrow with the Grace Curley interview that I did earlier today. Definitely try to post that up later tonight or tomorrow on the YouTube. Check back. We'll do like an instant premiere. I'll also share that on Twitter. The podcast, if they've cut it, they usually cut it in the afternoon. I'll go check that out. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. I love you. Thank you for watching tonight. It was awesome just to pop up last minute and see so many of you watching. Still like 400 or 500 you still watching with Aiden's on last minute show. That's amazing to me. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Have a great night, everyone.